Good evening. Welcome back to the Mancunian Way. My name is Mike. I'm your host. It's Thursday. It's the flagship show. Good evening. And Rich and Ozzy are back. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Martin, evening, Rich.
Hope both well. Apologies for the late start. I was having a scan at the hospital, so that was why. So my bad. We'll just say some hellos in the chat. Good evening, Tone. Yep, we'll be back on Monday for the watch along for Everton. Good evening to Martin. Thursday night chat. I hope you guys doing okay. Hello, Mingy Wong. City's final 4 Premier League games rearranged. We are going to talk about that. Well, but we're going to talk about straight away. 3 matches in 7 days. Is it enough time for the City players? We've done it before. Nico Riley has won the Premier League Player of the Month award for April. We're going to talk about that as well. New FIFA are considering new measures that would require clubs to keep at least one homegrown on the pitch at all times. Never going to happen. I don't think that'll ever happen. I think clubs will kick a stink up for that one. But we'll see. We shall see. City will have the new now stand open at the Etihad for the final game of the season. Yes, we're going to talk about that as well. We're going to talk about the test event that is going to take place on the 20th of May. You can get your tickets for that. £5 adults. I think it's £3 children. 3,500 people will be in there, which is 50% of the new capacity of the North Stand. Bearing in mind, the team is just back after just over 3 days off and 9 days between games. The time remaining between fixtures, 5 days, 4 days, 3 days, 3 days, 3 days. How will they cope? But they've just had a good time off. So they've had a good rest.
And for most of the players, it was 12 days. Because there was only, Cherky and maybe, was it Nunes, who started at Wembley?
Yeah, but they all had to come on, Rich, because we were...
But they played. They didn't play. They didn't have to play 90 minutes. You know, they played like 33 minutes or whatever.
Big up us. We're going to talk about the legend that is John Stones as well. Rich is going to have a little cry. I know we did it on Blues Down Under a lot. DC, good evening. Hope you are well. Make sure you send hello to each other in the chat as well. Peter Gresty, good evening, mate. Hope you are well. Absolutely horrendous what the Premier League has done. I think we're making a mountain out of a molehill, but we'll get into it in a minute. This is why we have a big squad. Spot on. Fixture's been like this before, and we just get on with it. Yeah, spot on. I'm not that. The only thing I'm trying to get at the minute is a ticket for Bournemouth. Arsenal are in the same position as us. You think Arsenal players are not tired? They're knackered. They are knackered. This is what it's like when you're going for three. Well, exactly. You want to win trebles and doubles. This is what you have to do. We didn't moan in the treble season. Why are we moaning now? Anderson passing's top, says Pierre Wiseman. I was like, said I've been at the hospital. Bye, Dick up. Hope you well, mate. We'll get you back on soon. Lovely to get you back on. I hope you are well. Just scan over my head. Anderson bossing midfield for Forest. Not watched any of it because since City have come out of Europe, I'd rather watch paint dry than watch other teams. I'm not going to lie. Ozzy wants to talk about it in a bit. I'll go and have a siesta or something while you lot are talking Champions League. I wonder where John Stones will probably end up. Well, we'll see, but the thing... We'll talk about that. Very good reason. The Forest game is quite balanced. Never going to happen. North Stand hopefully fully open for last game of the season. Yes, it will be. Good evening, Nick. Hope you well, me old mucker. Good having a good chat with you. I had a chat with Dante as well yesterday, which was good. Anderson's lucky to be on the pitch. Not watched it. So Roddy wasn't in training at all today. Could that mean that Nico might start against Everton then? No idea. We'll find out tomorrow where we stand with Rodra. Big up, guys. Nobody's Cade. Yes, smash those likes. Yeah, please smash those likes on your way in. Does help your channel grow massively. That's Paul from I don't know. Yeah, they're all on about this penalty. Yeah, Forest to 1-0 up. Anyway, right. So we'll kick it off. Where do you want to go first? Fixtures or the John Stone tribute? Where do you want to go?
I think we all know where Rich wants to go.
I want to
fixtures?
Put that off. Fixtures, yeah. Fixtures, I think, definitely.
Is it because you were waiting to the cry later?
Put off talking about, John Stones. I mean, I've been I think the fixture nonsense is silly. Arsenal got to play the same games as they got to play 2 Champions League semis. We asked for an ideal situation. What we originally asked for had Palace playing twice in 48 hours, which is totally unreasonable of us. And I just don't see what people are fussing about, to be honest. Yes, we could have slightly more perfect fixtures if one was moved to a Wednesday, but then we have fewer days off before the other game. We got to end at the same time. We've got to play the same number of games. And yes, the FA Cup's in the middle, but, if we're going to rotate and rest a couple of players, it's going to be in that, in an FA Cup final. Although I find it, it sounds strange saying that, but I do think we may, and we'll get on and we'll just get into it. We've had 12 days off at this time of the season, and we've not long ago had a 3-week international or near 3-week break from the Premier League, which a few of the players got. So, I think we're trying to be a bit scouse. We're being a bit paranoid, thinking it's some grand conspiracy against us. I think it's just what happens when you're in all the comps, what happens when you're good. I mean, ironically, I've seen Arsenal fans saying, how it's a fix that we've got games in hand. So you've got us whinging about it and Arsenal fans whinging about it, like there's some grand conspiracy by the Premier League to give us games in hand so that we can swoop at the end of the season. I mean, it doesn't take Einstein to realise if you stay in, the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup to the final that you're going to have games in hand. But apparently that's a grand conspiracy. So, yeah, it's big nothing.
Oz?
Yeah.
Ozzy's having technical difficulties at the moment.
Yeah. I'm sure he just said, I agree with you totally, Rich.
Which game you at today, Rich? You at the same game?
Same one, yeah.
Same one, the Chelsea game. While Ozzy sorts his technical difficulties out, listen, you want to be successful, get up and get on with it.
Yeah.
But we can't sit and say we want to be successful and then bitch and moan. We didn't bitch and moan in the treble season when we were playing every 3 days. I don't know why we're doing it now. Or some fans are doing it now. It's silly. Just get on with it. You got a 28-man squad. Use your squad. Get on with it. Shut up. Deal with it. Is Rich frozen now?
No.
Oh, no. Rich was just doing musical statues for a minute. Ozzy definitely has frozen. So I'm just going to remove Ozzy while I just sorts out his technical difficulties. Yeah, I have no problem with it. If people don't know, the fixtures are Monday the 4th. Obviously, this Monday coming up, but there will be a watch along for it. I'm not going. My brother is. I'm not, because my dad's not very well at the moment, so I need to have him here. So Monday the 4th, 8 p.m. we're away at Everton. Saturday the 9th, 5:30 Brentford at home. Wednesday the 13th, we're at home to Crystal Palace. And then 3 days later, we've got the FA Cup final against Chelsea on the 16th. And then 2 or 3 days later, Bournemouth away, which I'm trying to nail down ticket for. And then obviously the big one at Villa at home, which may or may not mean anything. So yeah, but don't be successful then. I'm sorry. We didn't do this bitching and moaning when Governor. I don't know if you've got the link, mate. Let us know, and I can email you the link. I don't want to do this bitching and moaning when we didn't do it in the treble. Why are we doing it now? This is success, guys. Ed,
Big up the chat, big up the panel. Sorry, just
Good
getting
morning.
in from work. Just getting in from work, so just trying to get settled over here. But yeah, man, nothing to complain about with the fixtures. We know when we know what we got in front of us, and we know what we're trying to achieve, and it's about how much we want it now. So, I mean, every 3 days isn't a bad thing. I think Pep likes playing every 3 days anyway. So, let's go.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. You know, they're all tough. I know everyone's looking at Everton as a really tough game. It's a must-win game. Totally agree with that, because you're going to be 6 points behind probably going into the week, going after Monday. But the simple fact is that Everton at home are not doing a great thing. They're not doing great shakes at home at the minute. They are suffering from new stadium syndrome. When you look at where they're winning, it's away from the Hill Dickinson Stadium, not at the Hill Dickinson. And City have won, is it the last 5 on the bounce away at Everton or something daft like that? So I don't know why everyone's, you respect it. It's going to be a tough game. We know it is. But the Bournemouth away game is the banana skin in this. That is the banana skin. If we're going to drop points, it's going to be Bournemouth away. It barely is for me. That's the one. I understand people, but still, you want to be champions. Sorry to chuck the cliche out. Champions go away at Bournemouth and win. When it matters. Can't say we want to be champions and then go, oh, well, tough game, eh? When we were on the treble and we drew away at Bayern and we drew away at Madrid and we beat Madrid at home and Bayern at home, we didn't do all this then. So why are we doing it now? It means you've either not got the faith in the team as what you think you have, or you've got faith in Arsenal. One of the two. Because we've never moaned before, so I don't know how we're moaning now. That's just me. But where is anyone looking at difficulties?
I think, I don't think any game is madly difficult. I think they've all got their challenges. I mean, I think everyone talks about Bournemouth, but I think Bournemouth suits City in a way. I think whilst attacking, they can get at us. I think, they've looked... Our attacks always look good against Bournemouth, so that one probably worries me less. I mean, Everton's probably our hardest game left. I mean, Villa should be on the beach probably. They'll probably already be qualified through the league. They might have qualified for the cup. They might still be, celebrating a cup win. So I think Villa should be... I think Palace have got other things to worry about. They've got nothing to worry about. That should be straightforward. But you never know.
It's 1-0 for us right now, Rich. 1-0 for us.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I personally think, at this stage of the season, there is no game that's a given because, a lot of these clubs have got things on the line. I know you were saying, Rich, that some don't and might be on the beach. Yeah, that's totally possible. But at the moment, it feels that in this league this season, it's felt that no game is an easy given. Like, even though on paper it should be, like, it just feels that the Premier League has never been as competitive as it has. And I think one of the big reasons for that when it concerns City is because I don't think we're quite at our best yet still. Like, we talked about it recently and said, this team is still in a transition. This team still isn't probably where the treble team were at that stage. This is a virtually half brand new team. So, and we've all said realistically, this team is probably ahead of where it should be. It's still rebuilding a lot. And I think, we've come a long way in a few transfer windows, but I think there are still players that maybe, still got to go and players that we still probably need to bring in. So I think, when Martin says, the Everton game is a game that we can't really afford to lose. I think between now and the end of the season, I think there's a good chance that we could drop points and Arsenal can still drop points, because I don't think either team, just at this moment in time, is in a great form. I think we were, up until probably the cup final. I think we slightly it hasn't seemed to have clicked. It seems like since that game against Arsenal, we seem to have just fallen off slightly, not completely, but we were, before the Arsenal game, we were, we were a fine form. We were playing really well, and over the last couple of games, it's just that we've just got over the line. Like, we've done enough.
Yeah, but one of them was a completely different team. I mean,
I know that, Rich. But I'm saying, like,
I don't think we can.
I don't think it matters so much about how we play it. It's more about just getting the results at this stage of the season. This is the business end of the season where we need 3 points.
Yeah, where I'll disagree with you a little bit is I think we do need to play reasonably well, because in playing a game like Burnley at home, even a poor Arsenal side playing an already relegated side who are terrible at home have a chance to get 4 or 5 goals. And if they get 4 or 5 goals, they put pressure on us, because we haven't got any obvious teams that really easy fixtures, a team already down, a team who's at the level of Burnley. So I think we have to win every game, and I think there's a chance that we have to win every game by a couple of goals, because whilst I don't see, I think West Ham's an incredibly hard game for Arsenal. I think in many ways, if Arsenal beat West Ham, I think they might go on to win the games after that, and then goal difference comes into it. So I think we do need to be playing well, because
I don't think goal difference, as much as like we talked about that a couple of weeks ago, where goal difference, Arsenal are not scoring anywhere near the amount of goals. I mean, you look at their Champions League, like, it was a penalty. Before that, it was a set piece again. Like, they're not really scoring from open play yet. We are. But I think that's one. But we're not. You look at the last couple of results. We haven't scored. And to be fair, no one in this league has gone above 3-4 kind of goals in a game. You're not seeing that this season. You're seeing, it's 2-1s.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Forward, but
Burnley at home is playing an already relegated team at home is a totally different game to other games you can play. So there is a chance that if they're not probably on the beach, they're probably on the bloody training track for next season, or worrying about either going to get a move to am I going to stay. I do think that something like that opens up a chance to give Arsenal some form, to give them some chances, and we don't want to be cocky and say, well, Arsenal aren't playing well, it's not going to change. I mean, I was listening to a Yaya interview last night, and he was talking about the FA Cup semi-final in 2011. Now, before that game, we'd been in very bad form. First half of that game, we weren't great. Yaya was talking about the players having a punch up at Wembley at half time, and how after they'd got at each other, and he'd spent his time avoiding getting in a fight with Vinny or something, or some of the big lads in the team, he we completely changed. And whilst I don't see something from Arteta, it wouldn't take it. We know from our own seasons over the years, teams can flip, and you can be in bad form, and suddenly one moment takes you into good form. So we can't be complacent. We've got to think. We've got to assume Arsenal are going to beat Burnley 4-0. We've got to assume they can scrape a win at West Ham, and if they do beat West Ham, I think they'll win the rest of the game. So therefore, we need to be thinking, we need to play well, we need to go and win our games by a couple of goals each time, so that if it does come down to goal difference, we're ahead as we go into the last game of the season, and poised to do it. And they've had Inter Milan this week. Atletico this week. They've got them again. Next week? So they've got hard games. They've got the same games as us, arguably harder because they've got 2 Atleti games, and
one now.
Foot down. One now, yeah. But we've got to put our foot down and just make sure we do it. Win every game by 2 goals, and make sure that whatever they do thrash Burnley, that we win the league. And that Johnny Stones lifts the FA Cup and Bernardo lifts the Premier League in the last week of the season.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, I didn't really get to kind of answer because of my laptop crashing on me about like the fixture doesn't concern me. It doesn't, because as Martin said, we've normally under Pep, we play at our best when we've got 3 games in a week kind of thing. Like it seems to be that's normally how it goes. I will say that I still feel, like I said with my comments earlier, that we're not quite that team just yet. So that is probably where I would put a slight bit of hesitation. But I think it's remarkable more so that the kind of like the news outlets have kind of been like, how dare City ask for fixtures to be arranged? It's like, well, actually, all clubs do this. Like, it's not just City haven't been the only team ever to turn around and go, can we have a... Arsenal have done it. United have done it. Chelsea have done it. Every big team pretty much asks at this point in the season, can the Premier look at the fixture list? Most of the time, they say no. But you compare to other leagues, like in the French league, where PSG are given time off so they can play the Champions League and have
the Spanish clubs. The Spanish clubs,
as well.
Number of times Real Madrid have been playing Friday because they're playing us the next week, or I agree. But the Premier League always say no to us.
Well, because the Premier League consider themselves that they don't need to worry about any of the competition. They don't care because they are the number 1 brand, and it comes down into TV fixture listings. Like, they're not going to move things around because, it's just so complicated.
There's also, there's too many big, powerful clubs in the Premier League for it to be like Spain. Spain does have that Madrid-Barcelona thing, who they dominate financially the money for the league. They dominate the money they earn for the league, but Germany has Bayern, France has Paris. They're so dominant as clubs. Whereas the Premier League, if they annoy City, they've still got Liverpool, Arsenal, United, Villa, Chelsea, endless number of clubs. So generally, they say no to 90% of people. I know in the past they've said yes a couple of times, annoying, I think, to United and Liverpool. But generally they say no. They said no to us and Chelsea when we went and start the season late. They said no to us when we were playing, in the FA Cup on a Sunday and playing in Madrid on a Tuesday, and Pellegrini did his brilliant passive-aggressive play, the 16-year-olds. We've done it. It always happens. And unfortunately for us, Palace were very deep in Europe and, have that to play for. So, Palace have a vested interest in the fixture as well. Had Palace been out, no one would probably care in the same way. And, they decided to enforce the UEFA don't play at the same time as UEFA, which I didn't quite get because we played Brentford. Was it last season or was it the season before? We played Brentford at the same time as Champions League games towards the end of the season, and it didn't matter. But now it does, so I don't know.
Joe, I want to say, Rich, just before you jump in, it's a quick thing. The one thing that I am upset about is something you said about Stones lifting the FA Cup. I'm a bit upset that the FA Cup isn't after the league's wrapped up, because it would be just so fantastic for Stones to lift the FA Cup and be like his last act, not only lifting the FA Cup, but lifting us doing a domestic treble. That just for me is a crime.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Except if it was the last game, they'd have to let Bernardo.
But why?
Why what?
Oh, it's the World Cup, isn't
Why
it?
is it a crime if he's not lifting it? You'd say it's not a crime if Bernardo's not lifting it then.
No, because I mean, like it would
Bernardo's
be.
going to lift the Premier League, man.
Yeah, and I think Stones, I think he played so well at that last game that I think he deserves to start, and I think he deserves to be captain in that game, and it would just be poetic.
Whoa, I think that might be a little too much.
No, we're not doing sentimental stuff there.
Yeah, we are.
I think that might be a
100%.
little
We are.
100%.
Johnny Stones.
I actually think we need to rotate a couple of players in the FA Cup final anyway. I don't think, if Rodri's fit, Bernardo, I don't think they're going to play 3 games in 6 days. I mean, maybe centre-backs Gay and Kuzanov can, but I think we'll need to rotate a few players. So what better opportunity than to bring in Stonesy?
Well, we may have to keep Kuzanov and Gay anyway, because I don't know when Diaz is fit to return at the moment. That hasn't really come out yet.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I do think 3 games in 6 days. I don't think, I don't think Bernardo and Rodri, if he's back,
I think.
Yeah, but I mean, I think these players are older and injury prone. I can't see it. I agree with
I think
Rich.
it's too important.
When's Bernardo been injured?
He hasn't.
Rodri.
But we don't want that to happen in his last ever game. He gets injured for the last 2
games.
Come
on, you're doing it puts and maybes to be.
No. I think.
No, you are.
No, I think Bernardo.
I don't mind Stones coming on for 10 minutes if you're 2 or 3 in a lot.
Stones captain.
But let's not start dicking around with the 11 just to do sentimentality.
No, it's not sentimental.
No, I think it is. I think he played so well in the FA Cup semi-final. I think he deserved to start mine.
I think, and I think we can't.
He deserves to start.
We can't give up the league for the FA Cup.
So does Kovacic deserve to start? Does Nathan Ake deserve to start?
I don't think Ake does. I think Gonzalez.
Ake was immense in the semi-final. What are we doing here?
I'm not immense to him starting, if I'm honest, but I think Stones definitely deserves to start.
Gonzalez starts the FA Cup, if assuming Rodri's fit. If Rodri isn't fit, Gonzalez,
what are you doing here? You lot. Sorry, I'm a you, mate. This is hearts over head stuff.
No, I can't believe it. I can't.
No, it's heads.
It's heads. You're doing that.
Stones has played 1 game in about 2 months, and now he's
it's about winning.
Rolling out.
It's about winning. It's about winning.
Ed, he could have been man.
You lot are giving up the Premier League for the FA Cup. That is
not a match,
yeah. You start.
So we're dropping Bernardo for Kovacic.
We're definitely dropping Bernardo and Rodri for the FA Cup final. Definitely.
You don't want to win it. You don't want to win it.
I want to win the league. I don't want to throw away the league. No, I love the FA Cup, but I think we could win the FA Cup with Gonzalez.
I'm sorry to chuck you in here, Rich. That team struggled against Southampton.
That
the
was
only
9
reason
changes.
We won
that
is
was
because
9
the big
changes.
Boys came on. Stop
9
this,
changes. You saw how knackered
Martin.
You saw how knackered we were. No, you're not using your head. You saw how knackered we were against. But you saw how knackered we were against Burnley, who were a worse team than we're playing in the last week of the season. If we go 3 games in 6 days, we will drop points. We will drop points in that last week of the season. Nah. We have got to put the Premier League first. We have got to think what gets us in the Premier League. And if we've got players who are not going to play at 100% level 3 games in 6 days, which I'd say 4 or 5 of our players can't, then we're going to have to rotate 3 or 4 players for the FA Cup final.
So we weren't complaining about fixtures, but now you're rotating the 11 around for the fixtures.
Of course.
We're playing Chelsea in the final, eh?
Yeah. I'm not throwing away the Premier League.
Roll out sentimentality.
I'm not throwing away the Premier League. No, I'm not throwing away the Premier League.
Wait, didn't the goal come from Stone's side?
Do you want to see Arsenal lift? Are you like Arsenal fans? Do you want to see Arsenal lifting the Premier League? Because we're knackered and we draw 0-0 in the second last game of the season. That's nuts.
You're chucking the FA Cup away.
Yeah, Pep will do. Premier League. And if you think that
struggled against Southampton,
but I'm not saying pick that team. I'm not saying which. Haaland can play 3 games. Semenyo can probably play those 3 games. Kuzanov and Gay can probably play those 3 games. Plenty of the players can play them. But I don't think Rodri and Bernardo can play at the level.
Why is
they need
Rodri
to
going
be.
to the World Cup then? If he
Because he's
can't
not
play
gonna-
all these games, what's he going to the World Cup for?
What's that got to? He
Because
won't
he's
be
going to play
playing.
every game in the World Cup, Rich.
He won't play 3 games in 6 days in the World Cup. He might play 3 games in 10 days, which is very
It's not our
different.
concern anyway, the World Cup.
And-
It's not our
and
concern.
Why is he going to the
who
World
plays.
Cup? Because for most players, going to the World Cup is the greatest thing they do in their career. And, you know, most players are going to always put the World Cup ahead of anything. And Rodri will not play 3 games in 6 days in the World Cup.
Anyway, but back on planet Earth.
Yeah.
Good evening, Luke.
Good
Back
evening,
on
Luke.
Arsenal Fan TV. Let's work out how we get Arsenal to win the league TV.
We're not doing that, but we're not. I'm not just going to chuck the FA Cup in the bin.
No, you can't.
No,
You can't
that's,
do that.
if you think we can't, if you think we're that bad a team, we can't rotate 3 or 4 players for a game, then you don't think City are anywhere near as good as I do mine. You don't have anywhere
No,
near
I've
as
said
safe.
it. I'm sorry, Rich. I've said I don't think the squad is as good as you think it is. We agree on that. We
I
agree.
agree with that as well.
I don't think it is as good as you think it is.
So, are you putting the FA Cup ahead of the Premier League? Is that what you're saying? You would?
No,
rather
I'm just
win the
doing
FA
one
Cup
game
than
at a
the Premier
time
League?
and take it as it comes.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which
one
is
thing I will
exactly what
say
I'm
is that
saying.
I'm
That is
not
taking one
saying,
game at a time.
I'm not saying 3 or 4 players like Rich's. I'm saying 1 or 2. Do you know what I mean?
You're
Like,
just saying Johnny Stones.
Well, I'm saying Johnny Stones because I think Johnny Stones is well in that game, and you know I am putting a bit of sentimentality in it because
Yeah, you are. At least Ozzy's being honest with it.
I'm
You're
being
not,
honest.
Rich.
I'm being
Rich,
honest.
You're not. You're sat there going, making up
But
the
no,
scenario.
to be
I think what
fair,
we can say-
I've said I reckon Gay and Cousinov Polly can play 3 games in 6 days. So, you know, it's maybe not the Johnny Stones as a player. It's more Bernardo and Rodri. I think can't play 3 games in 6 days. Gay and Cousinov Polly can.
Bernardo
maybe-
can.
I
I
think
think-
you if we talk
think
about
our
Johnny Stones,
Our players' level dropped significantly against Burnley because they played too soon before. And basically, what you're saying you want to do is have that team as tired it was as at Burnley. In fact, slightly tighter because the gap's slightly shorter, and then play them again 3 days later.
No, what I'm saying
I
is,
think that is
Rich,
Arsenal title.
Rich, all I'm saying is, one game at a time, assess them as they finish.
That's all you can do.
Well, they're fair.
Play
Yeah.
your strongest 11 every game, and we see where we land.
Yeah, and you know that's fair. You know we might win.
That's all I'm saying.
We might be 4-0 up after.
I don't want to
half an
do
hour
this.
and rest
People
players,
are playing. People are playing fixtures chess here. Play him here, him there. He gets 60 minutes. He can have 30. He can have 45. He's leaving after 10 years, so he's got to have captain's armband, stadium, and everything else, and lift every trophy we get. Bernardo can come out with a
not a
cup
bad
of coffee.
idea.
You know,
The
That's
Stone
not-
Stadium.
I
I
quite
like
like
silly
that.
scenarios.
Yeah.
the Stone Stadium.
Rich,
Yeah, I'll
you
go
know,
for that.
Manchester City and Pep Guardiola are too professional to allow any of that to get involved in this.
But I also know that Pep Guardiola will weaken an FA Cup final side for the sake of the Premier League. He's shown it time and time again that he will put the Premier League first.
Yeah, I think
And
he'll
if
make
he
some
think-
changes.
And
but I
if
don't
he
know
thinks
about
Rodri and
3 or 4.
Bernardo can't play 6 in 3 days, he will rest them. No question. Because he knows what really matters.
I mean, that's
Unless
a great
us-
point. I love John Stones, but he's played 3 games in 3 months. And Rich is like, here's the keys to the rest of the running, fella.
No, FA Cup final. He won't play another league game.
Unless, I reckon, yeah. I agree with that one.
Unless we're like Arsenal drop points and we're 3 points clear and 5 goal difference in the last
This
game of the
thing-
season, then obviously I'd start him.
Rich, are you going to take any of this sensible for the next 4 weeks? Or are you just going to be on this John Stone loving train? Just so I
No,
know for the rest of the shows moving
No,
forward.
you already
me-
know the answer to that.
For me, Stones FA Cup final, I'm up for that. And I'm up for us rotating and focusing on the league. But the league team's going to be the 11 the best 11, which is what we played last week with Rodri into the 6. And we will play that in every league game without any changes until we've won the league.
Go on,
But the
Luke.
FA Cup, we
Cook
make a
him.
little
Cock him,
little
Luke.
change.
No, it'll be fine, Rich. Look, a bit before. I mean, do you know what it is, right? That UCL exit now is looking more and more like actual, blessing in
Positive.
disguise.
Imagine we had to play,
PSG. Well, I think next year's City will probably be a lot better than the other thing, but this year's City against PSG or Bayern Munich right now, I wasn't going to get battered, but I think we'll probably lose. I think we're at right now, but I think the fact that we're on for 3 trophies is incredible, considering the fact that where we were in January after the Brighton and Chelsea draw back to back and Sunderland as well. So the fact that we're in this position is great, but a bit before, like, there's a lot of games to come, but one game at a time. Like, I mean, when we get to that cup final, obviously we've got, is it Everton, Brentford, and is it Palace before that game? Is it? I think is that right?
Yeah,
Then Palace.
So
yeah,
those 3 games to me are must-win games for the league. Yes, every single one at this point. I mean, look, obviously Arsenal going to do to Fulham, but even so, either they drop points or lose games, still win your games anyway. I'd rather win our games and get our points on the board than worry about what Arsenal doing really overall. Because
we just win 5 games by 2 goals, and we win the league.
Well, this is the thing, Rich, as well, right? I'm seeing it already. Oh, big week for Arsenal Football Club. It beat Fulham to go 6 points. Everton beat us on Monday. They're already going crazy already. They never learn. Arsenal fans never, ever learn their mistakes. They keep doing this.
Yeah.
This happen. Win your games and see what happens. Shut up. Like, what we will do, right? All of us will chat about City. But all of us today know it is one game at a time. Because that's how you win stuff. You don't just waffle all this nonsense and win nothing again. What you do is you realize that to win something, you have to actually go at one game at a time. So that way you win your games and do your job. And when you do that, you actually end up doing well anyway. I just think a lot of talking right now from other fans, rather than obviously ourselves, we're doing the right thing, but all we got to do is just ignore the noise.
Just to chuck this in, Luke, you do realise this was our run-in when we won the treble, 22-23.
Yep.
On May the 14th, we played Everton away and won 3-0. May the 17th, we were in the semi-final at home to Real Madrid and we won 4-0. 3 days. 4 days later, Man City played Chelsea at home and won 1-0. 3 days later, we drew away at Brighton. 4 days later, we got beat by Brentford at home. Yeah?
We'd won the league.
We'd won the league. Yeah. The point is, we've always done this, and I've just checked the 11s. The league, he started against Brentford, he chucked a scratch team out. But he didn't change the 11.
But I bet you he did in that FA Cup game.
The semi-final.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I don't think he'll. I think the league team will be exactly the same. He'd start the same 11 5 times.
No, against United in the final, Rich.
Yeah, but
everyone played.
Yeah, but we had an 8-day break beforehand and a 7-day break afterwards. So
yeah, because they moved the FA Cup final. That's all.
Yeah. Also, Martin, I think as you said, we're not the team. We're not that triple team.
And it's not the same to play 3 games in 15 days as 3 games in 6 days. It just, that's, a physiological fact for the players. It's just not the same.
I think you're looking for excuses already. Just listen, see where we land.
Yeah.
If we're good enough, we're good enough. We're not.
Beat Everton first. Everton's the priority right now. Ignore Brentford, ignore Palace.
Yeah. We've just got to win every
game. Someone might walk out of his house on Wednesday morning and fall over the milkman and break his leg. How do I know what's going to happen? I don't want to get
a jar of jam.
I know too many people are getting crystal balls out at the minute and trying to predict here, there, and everywhere.
Well,
and you can't do that. You don't sit there going, on a Monday I'm going to do this, on Tuesday I'm going to do that, on a Wednesday I'm going to do that, I'm going to have my dinner at this time, I'm going to have a piss at that time, I'm going to have a shit at this time. You don't do that.
Watching our Burnley performance and the fatigue in the players, and then
it wasn't fatigue, it was poor finishing, Rich.
and fatigue as well. They
Oh, so
didn't
creating
run-
28 chances is fatigue.
look at the stats of the. I mean, I know. I guess.
Do you know we had better
Burnley
stats than the last time we played Burnley at the same stage 4 years ago?
We didn't have better
When we
running
only won
stats.
1-0.
We had better chances stats, but not better running and
Rich,
output stats.
Rich, let's get this straight on Burnley. In a title running, no game is easy. Right? Against Burnley, let's be honest, a lot of people went a little bit arrogant and went into the realm of smashed them 5-0.
Fans, not the players.
But I don't think the players did. It was just poor finishing.
Yeah, and they were tired after Arsenal. No question.
It's an excuse for poor finishing, that, Rich.
No, I think their intensity wasn't the same. The poor finishing, you know, if you're tired, you don't finish as well as when you're playing at your peak. That's just and I just think we need to learn a lesson from what we've seen with our eyes and make sure we don't make that same mistake again this season.
That Burnley game last week was the exact same carbon copy of Burnley 4 or 5 years ago when Aguero scored.
Yeah, scrappy game and got a lot more.
Exactly the same. It was carbon copy.
Yeah, but who's to say we weren't tired at other points?
Was we tired there as well?
Of course. I mean, are you thinking the players when we're playing 3 times a week don't feel it physically? They're not robots.
Yeah, but I'm not really.
Look at Arsenal. Look how tired Arsenal. Look how bad they are, and that a lot of that is tiredness. Declan Rice is out on his feet. He is pulling himself from game to game. They look knackered. They've been overplayed, and you know you saw it with Liverpool a few years ago when they lost to Madrid in the final of their Champions League. Overplayed by Klopp. They get to the final, and they just did not have the legs to play the final against Madrid. Madrid looked 10 years younger than them, and it is a Premier League problem, and we can't think that we're immune to it because it is just a fact of nature, a fact of life, and we have to make sure we deal with it.
Rich, I love you, but I think you're coming up with a whole lot of. I think you've
science. I think you're science deniers.
You have come to the show tonight with your bag of excuses at the ready, mate.
It's not an excuse.
Yeah.
I want us to win every game and do it. And I'm just saying that you've got to listen to science. You've got to.
Rich, when we were doing this channel in the treble season, you were not doing this.
Doing what?
You were winning mentality. It breeds it. You don't feel tired when you're winning every game.
You're remembering the wrong Rich.
Yeah, no,
I'm pretty sure he was like this.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
And we played the FA Cup after the season.
He's got grumpy in his old age, Oz.
We had 8 days at the end of the season, and then another 7 days for the games. We didn't have a game like this in the middle of.
Rich, we were playing Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Inter Milan. Get out of town, Rich.
But 8-day breaks, a 3-day break.
No, it wasn't. I've just read you it. When we were playing Real Madrid and Bayern Munich,
the FA Cup final.
Others,
yeah, but I'm talking about the FA Cup final.
Days.
I'm talking about the FA Cup final. I'm not talking about Premier League game. I would not rotate the team 1 iota for the Premier League. I'd start the same 11 every day.
Pat, you need to have a word with him here. I love you, Rich, but you've come with your bag of excuses. I mean, by the way, there is a poll in the chat. I'm going to end it in 2 minutes. Just quite simply, does the fixture schedule concern anyone? 36% have said yes, 64% have said no. You've got 60 seconds to make your final decisions, and then we'll close it off because it's blocking Ed's beautiful face there. And we don't want to do that. Governor, you want to say something before we move on? We're moving on to the Johnny Stones story next, Jesus. Should we just take Rich off? We just all this about Rich off.
Yeah, morning, boys, evening, everyone else. Rich, Stonesy can always come on. He don't have to start. He can finish a game.
He's giving him the armband. Pep's ex-wife.
Yeah. It's the Here's the business end. You know what I mean? You've got to put the full strength team out. Stonesy can still do a job, but come on.
Yeah, no, I'm happy Stones coming off
Anyway.
the bench, but I'm not happy Bernardo and Rodri starting.
Tell you what, Rich, they can all have Stones 5 on the back of the shirt as they're roaming now. In fact, no, they can't even do that. They're not allowed.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of something.
be honest,
It depends on
and
Try and
Ozzy
get them to
said
do it
when you
before the
mention
game.
lift the
Rodri.
trophy. Not
When
But
you mention
Bernardo's
Rodri,
injured,
do we
and
know
he's
about
captain.
do we know about his injury? Because I wouldn't start him against Everton, depending on the injury.
no, not unless he's really back.
I wouldn't start him
Gonzalo
against Everton. I have mentioned in the chats to save him, but not to play Everton. But it depends on the injury. Not heard nothing.
Okay.
But I wouldn't play him.
Yeah, we never
Nick
do. I
OG
mean,
for
we
me.
never do. He wasn't in training, was he? So
I think we need a G plays on Monday, I reckon.
Nick OG.
He probably does.
Yeah, I think I'd rather him play anyway because he's that way. He's got minutes under his belt in the league as well, and at least that way when Rodri comes back from injury, he's ready to go to sort of come in and help out now and again. I think if you just play a Riley midfield at Everton, I'm not saying it is going to work, but I'd rather play someone like Nico G who did well against Southampton in a cup game. He's got that momentum behind him of a big goal. They're benching again after that in the league. It doesn't work for them. Yeah,
Nico G's been great this season. I don't have any concerns starting him.
I haven't. No,
I don't.
Going back, Mark. Going back, what you was talking before.
Sorry, I had some interference there.
Yeah, going back to what you were saying before, quickly. The only game that worries me is that Bournemouth midweek game before Villa. That's the only one that worries me. That's the only one.
Yeah, the Alex Scott midfield with is it Vanelson and is it Krupi, Ryan, good players, Bournemouth.
Stop my man.
They're also it's the last manager's game as well.
The only reason why I'm concerned about that Bournemouth game is because it's after a cup final. That's the only real reason. I'm not.
It's
really
that weekend. It's just that weekend.
You see,
you know?
Ed, Pep will have rested players, so we'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not worried about it being Ariel's last home game. I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about Alex Scott.
Fulham, West Ham.
It's more about us and how we come into that game. I'm not. Yeah. I think I heard Rich was talking about the goal difference, and he's expecting Arsenal to do something they haven't done in all of 2026 is score 4 goals in one game. So I think if we handle our business and win all our games, we should be in a good place. You know.
Yes, sir. I did mention about the.
Ed.
Go on, Ozzy.
I was just saying, what did I say last week to you, Ed, about goal difference? How many teams have ever won the Premier League by goal difference?
Yeah, it's just us. It's just us, but that's what I'm saying. I'm not. I think a team that's what I'm saying. Like teams against Everton or even like a Crystal Palace, nobody would be shocked here if we win a game 2-0 or 3-0. So I think it's all about our mindset, how we approach the game.
Great. It'd be fucking great to win it on goal difference against them. Honest to God. They've got their big grok up front. Unbelievable. Be great.
Imagine a far Dev after bottling it all when Spurs going down the same day. Imagine that.
But Bournemouth undefeated since January.
That's my worry.
And it only takes a point.
And Martin, that is my exact point you've made beautifully. That is why we need our team fresh, ready to go.
But I'll be honest with you, Rich. Do you know what it is? I don't think that team was great for 60 minutes against Southampton.
No, they weren't.
Yeah, they weren't. But I'm not saying.
And you want me to roll them out in a FA Cup final?
I want you to roll out 3 or 4 of them. We rotated 9 players for that game.
People forget against Southampton, it took the first teamers to come on and change that game around.
I'm not saying we have to rest Haaland. I'm not saying I'm just saying there are some players who are over 30 who 3 games in 6 days will be too much for. Now,
No, I agree, but yeah, I just think You know, for me, I know people doing this, Rodri. Me, I'm going to be, people ain't going to like this. Stick a painkiller injection in Rodri. Let him roll out.
No, I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't do that.
No.
We've seen this
Rodri
happen
is
to
that
so many
important.
players.
Is that
Martin, you've got to,
No,
Martin, you've got to trust your squad, mate. You've got to. They should be all. They're all on the same page.
I can't.
They're all on the same page, mate.
Governor, none of them stepped up against Southampton, mate.
I think you can do one player.
I think Martin, to be fair, Gonzalez is who we're talking about with Rodri.
No, I'm not saying
he's had fewer bad games than Rodri this season. You know, in truth, he's had fewer bad games than Rodri this season overall. Now, I know Rodri's was because he was coming back, so that's not a fair comparison. But Gonzalez, you know, Reinders, yes, question mark. He's not going to be as good as what we got. But I think Gonzalez is one player who, based on this season, we can trust to come in. And at Everton, if Rodri's injured, I think we can trust Gonzalez. If we need to rest Rodri for Wembley, I think we can trust Gonzalez. Some of the others, there's questions.
It's not that with me. People got the whole wrong end of the stick with me and Gonzalez. Not about me disliking him as a player. I think he's a very good player. You can't do the Rodri role.
Martin, I know you're talking about.
Let me finish my point. This is what everyone jumps down my throat. Is Nico G bloody? I've never seen the protection society for one player.
Get ready, go.
Never. It's crazy. Nico G's excellent, but you want my honest opinion? He's a number 8 playing the 6. That's exactly what he is.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's my issue with it.
You're
going to lose what you get with Rodri. People underestimate what Rodri does for our midfield.
I don't underestimate
30-yard balls over the top and through. He doesn't just do 5-yard sideways passing.
Martin, you know, you keep mentioning the Southampton game. Now, I've not said anything about the Southampton game. What I wanted them to do was go out strong in that first half, get the points on the board, and then take them off. That's why it took longer for us. I'm sort of contradicting myself.
Yeah, that's what we should have done. I agree with you.
That's what we should have done, but it took longer when we brought them on to get the points, get the win. You know what I mean?
Also, their goal as well from out of nowhere was a wonder goal. It woke us up, didn't it? Obviously, because if we didn't score from then on, done. So yeah.
But I am contradicting myself. We should have put the big guns on first. Get it on the board and get them off.
Everybody wants the youth in every week when it comes out.
I know that, but it does come down to the business end, and you have to, you got to tweak it a little bit.
Yeah. No, listen, I like Nico G. Nico J, I think is a very good player, but as Pep said, he can't do what Rodri does. So you are going to lose something in the midfield.
Yeah, you are.
And away at Everton, that is huge.
Yeah, but mine, at the same time, you don't want to ruin someone's career.
Or
putting a needle in them.
And
bloody hell, do you know how many needles
I know.
But Martin, how many times?
No one gives a shit when Akanji was having needles.
The real point here is that a 60% fit Rodri can't do what Rodri does. And we've seen that this season.
No, I'm not. So
and
how
there
do
is
you
a
get
point
around that in the Everton game? That's what I'm asking. How do you solve the problem of not having the Rodri?
You play a different way.
You play Nico G.
We can play a different. We can play in a different way. Pep can set this team up to play in a way that doesn't have to solely rely on those through balls from Rodri and those perlers that we're all talking about. Because we said it before in the first half of the season, we had to do it somehow. We won games in the first half of the season.
Yeah,
exactly.
It wasn't. We were just losing and all that in the first half of the season. He found a way then for one game to give Rodri rest until the Palace game. He can find another way then. You still have Bernardo on the pitch. You still have Cherky on the pitch. You still have.
You were playing differently then as well because you also had Foden on the pitch then. You had Foden and Cherky together who was pulling the strings. You've lost one of them now because he's fallen off a cliff. This is why I don't like to do this where we were then and where we are now, because that whole team was different then. The way we were playing was different then.
Yeah, but you've got to play Foden. You can't leave him out. You've got to keep playing him.
I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one, but
No, but he's got to. How's he going to get his form back? He's got to play. It's not good sitting on the bench.
I think Nick Foden needs next season. Just let him rest over the summer, sort out what he needs to sort out, and let him rest.
If Rodri's down, you know what I'm doing? I'm going to Doku. Doku, I'm gonna need you to play at a high level today, mate.
But at the start of the season, Doku wasn't playing a lot. This is the point I'm making. So when people, you got to look at it from an analytical side of things. So when you're saying we were doing ABC in August, September, October, November, I agree. Nico G was in the middle doing very well, but he had different skill sets around him. Are you going to change it in a must-win situation? I know if Rodri's injured, don't get me wrong, now you can do.
No, but you can't stick a needle in him, Martin, and risk him having further injuries, which could go into next season, and that means that he may not be able to start next season, or he may do another, half.
You may not even be able to sell him,
or you lose him in 4 games.
Yeah.
It's just not. It's not worth it, Martin. You've got to trust.
No, I agree. I'm just going off the history. We stuck painkiller injections into players in Champions League final.
Look what happened to those players, though, Martin. Yeah, but look what happened to those players. A lot of those players did not come off. The evidence of that is last season. What happened to a lot of those players?
Well,
like Kanji,
broke 3 of our centre backs.
Yeah, exactly.
Broke 3 centre backs.
You can't do that with a player. As you say, is as important as a player he is to us. You can't do that to him.
Yeah.
You can't do that to Roger. You've got
we
to
did it.
let him recruit.
Last season.
No, I know it's going to happen. He's not fit for Everton, so he's not fit for the next game. And there's only 4 games left, and we'll start never playing him.
No, Martin, because as you just turned around and said, you have to basically not only trust the squad, but you also have to take one game at a time. You can't just turn around and say, well, if he doesn't start for Everton, then that means he's not starting the rest of the last 4 games. That's not what anyone's saying, and that's not how this works. He may just miss the Everton game, but he may be fit enough for the games afterwards.
What we have to do there is, you put O'Reilly beside Nico G. Make him disciplined in there, because last time we played Everton, that Onana bullied us in the midfield. So that should be O'Reilly's job. He should be in there watching that Onana.
The last time we played Everton, this was our lineup. We had Donnarumma, Mateus Nunes, Ruben Diaz, Nathan Aka. We had O'Reilly, we had Gonzalez, Savinio, Reinders, Foden. So that's what I'm saying. That whole midfield was very different. Yeah. You had Reinders and Foden in there with him as well.
Yeah.
It was completely different, and this is what people have forgotten. You had an informed Phil Foden got man of the match against Everton that game. He was that on form. Remember, he put that 35-yard ball in for O'Reilly to cross in.
Oh, yeah.
And this is what I'm saying. Nico G's an excellent player. Totally get it. But you've got to be careful. You can't just stick Nico G in. You've got to put the right plays around, because you're losing the Rodri skill set.
That's right.
That's all I'm saying. You've got to make up for Rodri.
And as Ed said, you play a bit of a different system.
Yeah, you're going to. And to me, that's just a risk going into must-win situations.
It's a risk you might have to take, though, Martin. That's just the name of the game. Do you know what I mean? Like, you have to rely on those players on the pitch to do the job.
Gayy.
Just a guy.
Gayy. Yeah. Because remember, everyone was raving about him, saying he bossed the midfield.
No, it was Onana, wasn't it? Onana did.
He went to Villa a year ago, didn't he?
No, it wasn't Onana. It was Gayy.
At least a year ago, yeah.
It was Gayy and Ndiaye. It was Ndiaye and Gayy that ran the show.
Ndiaye was on the wing, though. He was playing.
Yeah, and Ndiaye was on the wing.
And it was Gayy as well.
He was brilliant. I mean, he was their player. I thought in the game was on the wing.
Yeah, we don't know if Rodri's out. We'll know tomorrow. Like we see, we're all into it, but some maybes again. People are just trying to get me to talk about Nico G now every stream, and I don't know why.
One thing Pep
your agenda, that's why, mate.
Is
what have I said? That's an agenda.
Pep doesn't want
Everyone
Everton
knows
to
your
know.
agenda.
He doesn't want to know, Everton to know whether he's playing or not, because the truth is, Pep is always vague about injuries because he knows what's happening and he doesn't want the opposition manager to know. Because if you were setting up Everton, you might set them up slightly differently depending on who's playing. And so, you know, if you've got an injury, keep it vague. I know our fans don't like it, but it's by far the most sensible thing to do.
Because people are like, what's happening with Foden? We need to know. Like, no, you don't.
No, the only person who gets helped by knowing is the opposition manager and coaches.
Yeah, of course, I understand that. I mean, our record against Everton is actually very, very good recently. Very, very
We
good.
haven't lost to them since 2017.
Everton are doing very well away this year. It's like I said, they are struggling with their home form. It tends to be that new stadium syndrome kicks in a little bit. Sadly, that everyone goes through. But just looking at some of the fixtures when we've been to, why is it giving me Man United? No, I didn't put Man United history.
Secret.
What's he freaking doing here?
So we don't know.
That's your recent history, Martin. Keeps coming back.
It really isn't.
Yeah.
What are you searching?
Oh dear.
Right, yeah. So Aussie Spawn, we haven't lost since 2017, which was 15th of January 2017 when we got smacked 4-0. Jesus.
Says it all.
Big shirt, that.
Oh, that's from the Instagram.
Oh,
I forgot. That's from the Instagram account you hijacked, wasn't it?
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
You should never put that on mine.
Oh, listen. That was the night. I was working with TNT Sport.
You know, chippy chips.
True red that night.
They have to be them chips. I don't get it.
Jeez. No way.
Don't you sneak in the fucking back door and think you can start causing trouble.
Well, me.
Yeah, you.
Me. I just spent the last 15 minutes going to get a bloody coffee,
You're
and
the
that.
one with the sound effect.
All I've heard you is bloody cortisone FC. Everybody's tired, and I've got one more thing to add about Nico G.
Did you
see even Pat knows.
Did you see the true professionalism of Blue Down Under on their Wednesday under Pat's guidance, where he played an emotional John Stones video, couldn't get the sound working, and you had Macca and Governor and me going, Pat, there's no sound. So everyone's watching these emotional scenes. It's like, Pat, there's no sound. Pat, we can't hear anything.
Martin, have we received a copyright infringement notice yet?
No, because that was.
You're welcome, Rich. You're welcome.
I thought you was going to commentate on it, Pat, as you went.
Pat, you'll have to excuse Rich. Rich is old and doesn't understand social media's rules.
I can tell.
Neither did Macca.
I was saying, Pat, not techie.
It was quite funny. It was quite funny.
Anyway, right. Yeah. So, I mean, for me, listen. Monday night, they've had a bit of time off. They've been away for a couple of days. We have won at Everton. It's the first time we've been to the Hill Dickinson, which, by the way, I will say looks a very nice stadium. I did have a ticket. I've given it to my brother. So he's gonna have a nice
Briggsy
time.
went there for rugby league a few months ago. He said he rated it. He reckoned it was good.
Yeah.
I know they're very ageist, aren't they, Magnus?
Pat and me were chatting, and we reckon that probably Stone should start instead of Rodri at Everton. Probably start him at 6.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
He could do the job.
James of soccer.
Of course he can.
Yeah. Start him at 6. Just have it.
Anyway, right. So we'll go around. Ozzy, what are you thinking? Everton Monday night, because Rich has copied me again.
Yeah. Even though my last one was 3 days before yours, of course. But I am a time traveller, so, you know, I'm 11 hours in the future.
You
9 hours.
9 hours.
9 hours.
It's that time of year already.
Yeah.
Getting
9 hours.
senile.
I could tell you what's happening on Friday already.
Yeah.
Is the weather all right?
Yeah.
Well, look at Governor. It's not bad. It's a bit sunny, actually. It's a little bit grayer in Sydney.
I'm a bit annoyed. We've got clouds.
I know. It's pretty rare for you.
Yeah.
Can we not change the group icon in the group chat? Thank you very much.
3-0 for me anyway, by the way. 3-0. I think we'll keep a clean sheet.
I think 2-0.
2-1. I think it's going to be our hardest game.
4-1.
Our hardest game left.
2-0. Harlem.
I went 3-1.
Yeah,
3-1. If we could have as many attempts on goal as we did at Burnley, surely a few more will go in.
Yeah.
Rich, you said 2-1, didn't you, Rich?
Yeah. I think it's going to be a tough game. I think we might get a winner in the last 10 minutes.
Basically,
Matt, what was your
Rich copied me.
Oh, and I went 3-1.
3-1? Okay.
Yeah. You're not catching me, by the way.
Rich copied me. So that is the Mancunian Way prediction league so far. I've gone 2-1. Pat's gone 3-1. Ozzy's gone 2-0. Rich has gone 2-1 because he has to copy everything I do. And Ed's gone for a 2-0 win.
Yeah,
Rich is playing this
for the record. I nearly always get my tips in before Martin, and I copy him ahead of him putting his prediction in. It's very, very smart.
But you copied me this time because you know I'm breathing down your neck.
No, I do. I think 2-1. I was thinking 2-1 or 1-0, but I think we might concede.
4-1. Jesus, some of you lot are like thinking we're going to slap this lot up. 4-0.
I said it's by the way. What happened on
Well, we need a goal difference.
I don't think it'll go difference.
No, it won't. Arsenal are winning every game. They're not.
We'll know after
I'm
West
not too worried. I think Arsenal will drop points against Fulham.
Yeah,
I really do. They look tight.
It looks like a draw to me, that game.
Yeah.
Fulham are a team that can give you headaches, and if Arsenal are not on it, and especially if there's still, it's level scores a level in that with about 30 minutes to play, they are in. I think they're in for a real torrid time.
Yeah, I think they're two hard games. The first ones, I think by far the hardest game they got left is West Ham, and probably Fulham after that. I think if they beat those two teams, I think they'll win all 5. But West Ham is a brutal. West Ham's the hardest game. Either side's got left, probably. I think we've got harder games, but I think West Ham away is tough, especially when it's a bit of a derby, because I do think that adds a little bit of an edge. So
plus the fight
that'll be a I just think there's so much in it. I think West Ham will play with energy. I think the fans will be up for it. I think it'll be it'll be one of the few games. It'll be a interesting night for Tottenham fans. It'll probably be, trying to ignore telly and pretend football doesn't exist, because talk about a lose-lose. I guess all they can hope for is a draw, but that's a lose-lose game if ever you had one.
Right. Well, I'm just gonna jump for 5-10 minutes. I'll let you lot talk about whatever you want to do. Please keep slapping those likes. Super chats are available. Memberships are available. All contributions at the minute are going back into the channel, ready for the new season. If you are a business or you know a business and you want to support this channel, email us mancunianway8940@gmail.com for all business inquiries, as well for sponsorship or anything like that. I shall be back in 5-10 minutes.
Okay, well, let's move on to where Rich is probably going to have a good cry, and we may have to all put up with that. So what I will say is Johnny Stones, 6 Premier League titles, at the moment, 2 FA Cups at the moment, 5 League Cups, 3 Community Shields, 1 Champions League, 1 Super Cup, and 1 FIFA World Cup club. He has played for appearances, 293 appearances at the moment, 19 goals, 19 assists. His record is 212 wins, 39 draws, and 41 losses. And I had to, when I was watching that video, I did get a little bit choked up because I'd forgotten he'd been here for a decade. I'd almost forgot what he'd done in just some of those clutch games, clearing the ball off the line at the last minute, against the likes of Liverpool. I think because of his injury record, I think it slightly skews it in some people's memory how an immense player he has been for this club. He has just been. I think if it hadn't been for his really bad injury record, I think we'd be talking about one of the best centre backs there has ever been in this league. Definitely at this club. He is definitely up there with Company as being just one of our best ever centre backs. Like I said, I think the injury list just puts him behind Company, but there is no denying what a signing he has been, for City. And
I think he's a better player than Company. I think Company was a leader.
Yeah, I agree that.
As a
that's
player,
what I'm saying, Rich.
I think he's a better player.
Yeah, I agree. I think he is a better player. I think it's just sadly his injury list just puts him behind Company in that respect.
Yeah.
But there's no denying. I think it's just his injury record that has sadly let him down. He was immense during the treble.
Yeah,
he was our best player.
Similar to Aguero too. It's like the injuries mean that he never gets put in the conversation of the elite strikers.
Stones was the best player in City's best ever season. So at his peak, unplayable, and it's just sad that he hasn't had the 500 or 600 games he deserves, because to me, at his peak, he's better than Van Dijk, he's better than Vizic, he's better than Terry, because he could defend like them. But offensively, he was 5 times better than them. He was absolutely elite, and he was the best player at City in our best ever season. And, it's sad to see him go. In one way, City won't miss him because he hasn't played for 2 years. So, we don't have to replace him. And he wears a bunny suit when he plays golf and celebrating the champions. What more do you want? So no statue for Stones. I think we've got to go further than that. I think the Angel of the North, when you go into Newcastle, I think looking down over Manchester, probably somewhere like Rossendale, we want a massive Stones of the North, Cagoule, 300 foot high, looking down on Manchester, arms aloft. Do it, City, do it.
Wow. Yeah.
Here's a good question, actually. Would you put Stones in your all-time City 11?
Well, fit, yeah. Because if they're fit, then yeah, I would.
Yeah, I think I probably would, next to probably Company.
I probably would too, because the manager of that all-time 11 is Pep, so...
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, whoever plays alongside him, you'll have John Stones run around midfield anyway.
I say the one thing I will slightly disagree with Rich about is just this, is that I think we will miss him in respect of, yes, I know he hasn't played very much over the last few seasons, but behind the scenes in that dressing room, like the leadership that he has shown, I think we all miss, because, we've said it quite a few times. It feels like we've lost a leader, like a superstar, every season over the last 10 years. It just feels we always seem to lose a crucial player. And it's starting to feel that, you look at, there was, I saw a social media post where it had John Stones is the only player left now, and he's about to go from when, Pep first came in. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's the only player left now. And it's just like, wow, it's immense.
After him and Bernardo go, it's only Phil Foden left from the Centurion and the formidable season.
Yeah.
They all move on.
And we have to get used to that, don't we? We've had to get used to that in the last few years.
Yeah, I think the hard part this summer is that 2 real cult heroes go, because I think, I think Bernardo and Stones, in a way, for City fans, were both cult heroes in a way that I'd say, I wouldn't say De Bruyne was a cult hero. De Bruyne was just a hero purely because of his football. Whereas I think Bernardo and Stones, there's more to it than that. I think Stones partly being a northern lad, not, obviously the wrong side of the Pennines, but not far from Manchester. He does rock a cagoule better than nearly, anyone else in the Premier League has ever done.
He's zipped up,
and he just offers something different. And I think Bernardo, a cult figure because of his personality, because Bernardo, has got a personality that wound up other fans and that City fans loved, and a way of playing that's pretty unique. So I think it's going to be really, really sad day losing the 2 of them at once. And in some ways, sadder, apart from David Silva, and that was obviously kind of not really a goodbye because it was kind of ruined by events of the world. I think for me it'll be more emotional than Company or Aguero or De Bruyne, because there's 2 of them, and I think for me they're both real cult heroes. But cult, like we used to love the players years ago when they felt a bit more connected to the fans. I think Bernardo and Stones, because their personality, have always felt a bit more connected than some of the other players. So I think it will be really. It's going to be a really sad day, and there might be others going. We might have Ake, who's not quite at their level, but he's another player who's been vital for many years. There could be others going at the same time.
I did say this, hey Rich. I think we said this on Blues Down Under. I mean, after the Villa game, I mean, it depends, especially in Australia. It's Stan Sports that we watch it on, and depending on the results, we might not get to see the celebrations after the game because they might cut it short with the television. Do you know what I mean? After the game, depending where the trophy's going to go. So we might miss out on that, and we might have to watch that on Inside City or something like that. Because if we win the league, we'll probably get to see the celebrations. But if it goes the other way, the cameras are going to go over there.
Yeah, mind you.
We'll see the celebrations because they always have the actual cup and then they have the replica cup.
Replica.
So what?
Yeah, but it'll have to be on Inside City because Stan Sports in Australia won't cover an hour of City if we haven't won the league.
No.
They'll just be covering.
Yeah, as soon as the final whistle goes, just flip over to City TV.
And the other thing, Gov, let's be honest, at 1:30 in the morning or whatever it'll be, when we
3:30 for us by the time it's over.
Or 3:30, we've had a skinful. If we haven't won the league, we'll be so depressed. We'll be head down, trying to sleep and pretend football doesn't exist.
No, at least we'll see the celebrations if it doesn't go our way. Do you know what I mean? That's a bit of an uplifting sort of thing. So,
ignore him. Yeah.
So do you think with Stones, has he still got a playing career left in the Premier League, or does he go abroad? I mean, what are your thoughts, Rich?
He might go to Everton.
I think he goes. I think he goes somewhere where, he can play once a week. That without somewhere not quite at the level where he's not worried about playing in Europe, where he can play once a week, play a bit of a leadership role. I thought Bayern would be perfect for him. I thought if any manager in the world knows how to deal with a centre back who needs, to be given, a different training regime, it's Company. And
I don't know if it's injuries, Rich. I don't know.
No, I don't know. I don't know how much money he wants, whether they'd risk it. But I thought a year ago that would be the right place. I don't know if the Premier League is best. I don't know if he's best suited by the Premier League because of the intensity. I think quite possibly if he went to a European league, he might be able to play in less intensity and play for longer. But I don't know if he wants to go overseas.
There's
I
a
don't know
possibility that he just hangs up his boots, because let's be honest, his injury, like,
that's it.
Like, is it a chance that actually this could be him just saying
only if no one makes him a good offer? I reckon if anyone makes him a good offer, he'll continue. You know, if his only offer came from the Championship or something, maybe you go. But I mean, you know, what happens if, you know, what about teams coming up from the Championship to the Premier League who, you know, want a superstar and are prepared to take a chance on it? You know, what Stones going? You know, I said this about Ake. I thought Ake would be perfect for Coventry, or, you know,
Coventry,
if a team like Wrexham came up with money, you know, perfect for a club like that. Ake, what about Stones doing something like that? You know, does he want to go back to Yorkshire? You know, Leeds could probably, you know, if he stays in the Premier League, someone like Leeds, Everton.
You know, took a risk on Calvert-Lewin, didn't they? So there's a chance.
And I think honestly, he just won't be required anywhere else to probably play with quite the intensity he does at City. And, you know, but, you know, it depends how much money he wants. If he wants 150 grand a week, then a club like Leeds, if they paid that, he'd have to play every week. So I don't know.
You got any more thoughts, Governor?
No, I think I agree with Rich. I think it could be one of the teams that come up. Imagine him go to Millwall if they came. Jesus.
Oof.
Hey, Stonesy playing for Millwall. But yeah, I don't know. With his injuries, like you say, I don't think he can play week in, week out. So, like you say, if the offer comes in, he probably would. But if it could go out on a high this season. So I don't know. I don't know with him. It's just his injuries.
Yeah,
like you said before, with his injuries, he would have been one of the best, if not the best player in the Premier League. He was a perfect centre back. You know, good in the air, great with his feet. You know, command his area. So hopefully it goes out on a high this season.
Does he?
And then I've always said, any player that goes from City, I don't really care about them after that. Usually, you know what I mean? Once they've gone, they've gone. Do you know what I mean? I don't hang on, and I might watch them, but you know, once they've gone, they've gone.
Yeah, we wish them well no matter what happens, don't we? At the end of the day, like, as long as they're not playing for United, you know, we can.
I mean, you know, the ideal move for him would be play a manager at Oxford United. That would be perfect.
Can you see him that, Rich? I mean, in all seriousness, could you see him being maybe a manager one day? Do you think he's got the nous about him to manage, or do you think?
I doubt it, honestly. I think he probably wants to play a lot of golf and enjoy life.
Yeah.
I've never seen like, you see players like Gundogan, who from the age of about 25, you thought he's going to be a manager. Everything about him wants to be a manager. In a sense, De Bruyne always talking tactics. You know, I'm not sure with Stones that he does. I think he probably wants to enjoy life. I reckon he'll just
all the time. All the time he'd had off, he could have done his badges.
Yeah. I reckon we'll see him on that, you know, golf competition, England against the rest of the world in Thailand. He'll be partnering, you know, playing against Nigel de Jong in that.
I think he'll end up somewhere very good.
My tip, Bayern. You know,
I wouldn't rule out Barca either.
Spain would be so good for him. Spain would be so good for him. It's perfect.
I still think his injury record, I think, is the big issue.
Yeah, you're going to follow him wherever he goes, Rich.
Well, unless it's a club I hate. I think, you see, like, if he went to, if he went to Barca, I'd probably watch him. If he went to Real Madrid, I probably wouldn't. So I really don't.
I mean, listen, I'll be straight with you. You know, we brought him in on, it was Pep's official first signing, believe it or not, officially. I know Gundogan was kind of done as well, but it was
Yeah.
the first official one. 2016 in the summer, just short of 50 million. We all remember the Gagool. And he said it himself, I came a boy and I leave a man.
Yeah.
And that's all you need to say about him. He's been... I'm going to miss him.
Yeah.
I think you've got a point about Barca, Martin, because the warmer weather, you know, it is good for you, right, in the warmer climates. Just an example, like a lot of people, I'm talking about here. No, I'm talking about here. People that live in Melbourne, right, you've got bad arthritis. They do move up north for the warmer climate, and it's better for arthritis. Do you know what I mean?
Are you suggesting someone should go there?
But, is that why you left Melbourne?
Part of it, yeah. I probably need a new hip, but there you go.
I mean that is a good shout. What Neil said here, though. Maybe Stones likes to play abroad, but then I get what Andrew's put. No moving house. He's a Barnsley lad. He likes the old Barnes.
There is that.
I feel like Bayern. I feel like Bayern is still a shout because he may want to play under Vinny. I'm not saying he's going to play every week.
Foden's going there. Stonesy's going there. His company just getting the gang back together.
I think he's got a good relationship with Harry Kane as well too. Harry Kane might turn his head. You never know.
Company's getting the gang back together.
Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, in all honesty, if Stones went there, it might keep Harry there. You know, it might keep Harry there longer. I mean, and I just think that, yeah, the reason Vinny is not getting the City thing back together. It's just that Vinny in his last 5 seasons played not an dissimilar amount of games to John Stones. You know, he averaged about 20 something a season, and I actually think Vinny started to manage how he trained in a very different way. And I think if any manager is going to understand what Stones is going through, it's Vinny, because Stones is a bit like, if you remember, those of you old enough, which I think you probably all are, but Paul McGrath, Ledley King were the same. Brilliant centre-backs, but, you know, Paul McGrath at Villa couldn't train, and yet he was playing Premier League football as one of the best centre-backs in the Premier League. Ledley King at Spurs couldn't train properly. And I think, you know, Stones needs to become a player like McGrath or King where his training is very unique to him, you know, apart from the tactical stuff, and where he's got a manager who understands when he shouldn't be played. You know, for good reason, Pep needs all his players fit on the ball and available every game, and Stones might find somewhere else where that's not required, and if he does, that'll suit him. But
so
I think
for me, Rich,
yeah.
Pat, I think you know, Governor was also in this, that we had him in our best ever 11. Why were you turning your
connection?
You weren't sure, Martin.
No, I wouldn't have him in my best 11. No.
Controversial.
He'd be on the bench, but he's not in my best 11. No.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Martin loves Alan Kernahan, and so, you know, that only leaves, you know, that leaves a lot of competition.
No, I'm not going to start, because I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to start underestimating Vinny Company, Ruben Diaz,
Richard Dunn,
Laporte,
Dave Watson,
Sylvain Distin,
Keith Curl,
Lucio Matoma.
Fucking quality player, Lucio Matoma.
Gerard Vikings.
He was brilliant in that derby, yeah.
Vikings wasn't a defender, though. Just because he played it in the derby.
Yeah.
You're going back to the derby, when him and Matoma came in and literally, you know,
as soon as Pat mentioned Matoma,
Eric Garcia. What's he doing here? Mangala.
Say Mangala.
Like I said, you'd be on my bench, but it's like, okay,
I'd tell you what, Andrew. I'd rather have Eddie Large at centre back than Eric Garcia.
This is my point now. This has been my whole point about this whole squad thing. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm not trying to wonder what we're doing. But when you look at the players we're leaving, Nathan Ake, potentially, John Stones, Bernardo Silva, let's be straight. Right now, with some of the players we bought, I'm not going to have that same affection.
Mm.
And that's what I mean about this. That squad we had and them players we had was so special, so good. To bring on a Nathan Ake off the bench or a John Stones off the bench is amazing. And don't get me wrong, in 5 years' time, we could be talking, get off your phone. Good boy.
I thought he was crying.
I know we're talking about a cushion off now. Cushion off can be there in 5 years. I'm not saying that. I don't know where Vic says, but they're not there yet.
Yeah.
Okay. Stones, they've all done it. They've been there. They've done it for me. It is what it is. But John Stones, of course, he'll be a City legend for me. Always will be. Because I'm not going to underestimate what he's done. But I think if Nathan Ake goes as well, and I hope, by the way, Pep wants him to stay. The decision, I think, will be Ake's, though. But at the end of the day, I can't then underwrite what Nathan Ake's done for this football club in the time he's been with us either. Because I think he's been immense. And he's played injured.
I think he's been our most consistent footballer.
Yes, so I'm not in a... it is what it is. I just think...
In the back line, Pat? Pat, I think you mean the back line, right?
What's going on with this?
Well, he's played centre back, he's played left back, he's played everywhere, Nathan.
Yeah, I said in the back line. I say most consistent in the back line because I think we've had
the most consistent player, mate. Because every player has their duty on the pitch, but I don't think there's many players on that field that have played for City in the last 5-6 years since we signed him that have consistently put in 7.5 out of 10 performances week in, week out. The injuries are the injuries. I think they were going to catch up to him eventually because he had such a really good injury history, or such a minute injury history when he was at Bournemouth, and we really didn't get the worst of it until about maybe 2 years ago. After another byproduct of winning the treble, in my opinion. But really, come to think of it, I can only think of maybe not even a handful of games where Nathan Ake was below par. He was consistently a 7 to 7.5 out of 10 performer week in, week out. And if he wasn't, he usually was better than that.
I probably would say Rodri, Bernardo. I would say.
Yeah, but I think Ed, what I'd say there is that Rodri, Bernardo normally play at a 9, and sometimes they drop to an 8 and 7.5, and Ake played at 7.5 and sometimes went up to a 9. I think, Ake isn't in the same. I don't think Ake at his best is in the same class as John Stones at his best, for example.
No. By the way, he's played. Don't get me wrong. He's played 293 games, 19 goals. He's got 9 assists. Believe it or not. Centre back's got 9 assists. I don't know.
No. He had 9 goals, 19 assists.
Yeah.
No.
That'll be when he's in midfield, Martin.
I'm sure it is.
No, he's got 19 goals, 9 assists.
Feels like it's the other way around.
No, he's got 19 goals and 9 assists.
Doesn't feel like he scored 19.
How many times did he come in from the back post?
From corners, yeah.
He scored headers from corners.
Yeah.
He's probably scored with 9 parts of his body, Pat.
I'm not being funny.
The 9 assists, though, I swear he had about 7. He had about 7 in the treble season.
I think those were the ones, Pat.
Yeah. Listen, he'll be missed.
To be fair, he's probably only played about 19 games since then, Pat.
Yeah.
Listen, I wish him all the best. I wish him all the best in his future career. We're going to sing his song loud and proud at Villa. There is something planned from both. There is a big special presentation planned from both. I just need to remind everyone as well, don't forget, it is Andy Morrison Day as well at the Brentford game, I believe. Is it Brentford? I'm sure it's Brentford home game. It's Andy Morrison Day.
How's his recovery going?
Apparently he's doing really well.
I haven't seen
he's coming along, so he's doing really well. So apparently it will be Andy Morrison for the Brentford game, I believe. And I think it's either Palace or Villa, because the club are doing different stuff as well. The club want to do their own goodbyes for them. The club are planning a big thing for Villa.
Yeah, they're trying to do the North Stand and stuff too with it.
No. It's Pep's 10 years. So the club want to do a big 10-year presentation for Pep at the Villa game. That doesn't mean he's leaving. You know, we don't know. We'll see what happens with that as time goes along.
Do you think it was Bopa, his comment the other day about, 5 games, a cup final, a holiday, and then back for next season? He said that in an interview the other day.
He said it a couple of times, hasn't he, Rich? About saying
flirting? Was that him
looking
flirting
forward to next season and all that sort of stuff? And
or was
I don't know what's going on with it, because, like I said, he's just telling everyone he's staying. And when you speak to any media buzz in and around the club, they all think he's going. So God knows what's going on.
Yeah,
they all think he's going, or they are all quite happy to tell everybody that he's going.
And did you watch the video City put out yesterday after all the Rodri Gonzalez talk, the half-hour Rodri and Gonzalez
the Spanish
going out for a bit of tapas and talking.
Jesus Christ!
Nobody expects a Spanish Inquisition.
I tell you, City know how to milk you lot. Get these together. Look,
it's hilarious.
Hey, man, it was a good. I'm not gonna lie. It was a good. I thought it was nice. Nice.
Hopefully the map comes out on the 24th after lifting.
Talk about.
I stay. I not go. 3 more years. Listen, that was the shit.
Chippy chips. They have to be them chips. I don't get them.
Can you stop with the sound effects, Pat? I can see you fucking pressing the button. Excuse my language, but I can see you.
What? You can see it? Oh, okay, so why aren't you reading the comments?
I can see you bleeding your hand down to press the button.
I've got a mouse there. I need to use the mouse to do anything on this bloody channel anyway, don't I? Well, you want me to just sit here like a bloody mannequin?
It's finished at Sunderland.
There we go.
Manchester United have done all they can. That Rooney goal was enough for the 3 points. Manchester City are still alive here. Balotelli, Aguero!
Look at Martin.
I swear you'll never see anything like this ever again. So watch it.
That's copywritten, that fucking thing's copywritten. Pat, don't play that again. That's copywritten. Seriously.
Pat, you're gonna have to send him a check now.
Honestly, do you know what? Do you know people have paid thousands to get that?
There you go. I didn't touch it. I swear I didn't touch it.
Well, who's doing it? Because they're affecting the channel.
Oh, it's Aussie. It's Aussie. Aussie's got the keys to the kingdom too. It's him.
What?
Well,
yeah. Well, it's not me. I'm not touching the bloody thing.
We know it's not me, so that's all right.
Chippy chips. Yeah. They have to be them chips.
That's Martin. I'm not touching it. I swear I'm not touching it.
Where the fuck have you got all this from?
You're welcome.
You downloaded all this crap.
You're welcking.
There you go.
I figured I'd get this one.
Aguero's goal crap.
Well, I was going to get this. I got this one for Fight! Blues.
And win! Fight!
Who the hell? What the hell? You see what happens?
You talked about wanting to get a soundboard, so don't all of a sudden retract your bloody statement, okay?
Not the ones that can be copywritten on that. Everybody, you know how much people own that Aguero stuff for thousands. Anyway, Ozzy, I know you got to drop. You're going to love the next one because I'm going to be very calm now when I say this. Big up, Ozzy. Cheers, mate. Right, I'm going to get you on this. This is going to be hopefully open, but there's going to be a test event. Where the frig's it gone?
North State.
There it is. The North Stand Testament for Wednesday, the 20th of May. Live music, former players, photo ops, interactive quiz and quizzes, Moonchester and Moonbeam, prizes and much more. It's going to be hosted by Danny. Was announced this morning. Tom got into a bit of trouble because he jumped a little bit early on it. Tom put it out before the club put it out.
Can anybody do anything at this club without getting in a bit of trouble?
Martin,
Martin, do you mind answering that question for me, please?
I'm in enough trouble with the club at the minute.
Exactly why I'm asking.
Yeah. This is why I'm now going to be very... The North Stand is amazing, people. It is the greatest thing that has ever been done. Well done to Manchester City.
All of a sudden, we don't need super chats anymore.
I've not had a cease and desist, I've been told. I need to calm down. So anyway, North Stand Testament, Wednesday the 20th. Yes. Tickets are £5, £3 for kiddies, 3,500 people. It's going to be from 6 p.m. till 8 p.m. I will not be attending because I don't fully agree with it, but each to their own. LB is going to have words, Pat. I'm going to go to the test event. You're not even sitting in the frigging North Stand.
Is that why you're not going? Because you're worried they're going to say, "Oh, by the way, Martin, do you mind coming with us? We want you to get acquainted with where you'll be sitting as of August of this year."
They suddenly put me as the face of the North Stand. No, man, everyone, big up Matthew.
It doesn't sound as good as the Angel of the North, does it?
Yeah.
And Pat, they're gonna be like, "We need you to lead the singing in this section."
Yeah, you've only got one song. You've only got one song.
So yes, that's going to be on there. I don't know where Governor's dropped.
Maybe
Governor's just dropped. Oh, he lost connection. There we go.
Yeah, I've got to go in 2 minutes. So
no worries, Rich. But anyway, yeah. So if everything goes well on that event, it will open for the Villa game. The plan is to have the highest ever attendance ever at the Etihad for the Aston Villa game. The Medlock Valley and everything else will not open till later in 2026. So the stand is going to open, but the restaurants and everything else at the back of it won't be open. That's coming later.
Does that include that fan zone concourse thing that they've got? So it's just basically walk in, nothing will be open, straight to your seat.
No, I think they will. And the other thing is, I think some things will be open, like the new corporate areas. They're going to be open. But I mean, you know where the restaurants are, what they're calling Medlock Vale or whatever it is. That won't be open till 2026. So yeah, the hotel doesn't open, like Andrew says, till October.
And have they got a museum opening and stuff like that?
Yes, all of that. The new soup, all of that's going to be 2026. It'll be a few bars. You do get a free drink, non-alcoholic, or alcoholic, and unlike match days, you will be able to take your alcoholic drink to your seat. They're going to bring out the Carabao Cup. They're going to bring out some former players, etc., etc. So that's 6 while late on the 20th. So yeah, get down there. £5 adults, £3 for the kiddies. So yeah, that'd be great. Transfer news. I've only had a couple of little bits. The Leao news is true. There has been no bids.
So there's interest. There's interest.
There is interest, yeah. There was interest.
Would anybody here take Leao in the comments? Would anybody want Leao?
No.
Nope.
No.
Well, it looks like we're looking at a winger, though, at least.
I don't know why we're looking at a winger because Semenyo's better than all of them.
I suspect we're looking for a winger because we want a third player.
Yeah, when Doku, you got to rotate Doku.
Yeah, I think Doku and Semenyo and someone else, and they probably get maybe they're not thinking Savinho's going to stay, or that he isn't good enough to be rotating through. But it'd be interesting. I'd rather go for.
You need a Grealish replacement. What for? You got Savio, Doku, and Semenyo.
Diamonde or someone like that.
No, because they're not coming to sit on the bench. I'm Rich.
But I think I think Doku misses enough game, and I think with the way Semenyo plays, he's not going to play 60.
I find that a waste. I totally disagree with people saying he's not a winger. I don't know where this has come from.
Yeah,
I think he's best on the wing.
I don't know where this Semenyo's not a winger come from.
Yeah.
I totally disagree with it. I don't understand.
If Mamouche leaves, I'd be more inclined to bring back Divi Mikasa.
Yes. 100%.
As number 9 rotational. You either bring someone from the academy, or they've got to be like well in their 30s and know they can't play. They can barely play every 7 days.
I think we need to either see Savinho step up massively, or we need another player instead of Savinho to be the third rotating winger.
See, I'm with you, Martin, on the whole. If the talk is, well, would you let Savinho go? And it's like, I just get this feeling that we're going to let him go, and in 2 or 3 years' time, he's going to absolutely kill it.
Yeah, possible.
He's just gonna smash it wherever he is.
But that's the thing, though.
We let one go. Yeah.
We can't wait 2-3 years for him to reach that level if he's gonna stay here, right? He has to.
Yeah.
It's the problem, you do get that. I think if he stays, he doesn't reach that level because he doesn't get enough football. And if he goes and he gets football every week at a team where they can afford to play him every week whilst he gets to that level, he gets to that level. So, there isn't a win-win. And unless we can find somewhere, it'll take him on for us for 2 years, developing him, give him back to us, at the same fee he goes for, then we have to accept. It's like, the whole Cole Palmer thing. I don't think Cole Palmer would have done what he did if he stayed at City. That's just life. Morgan Rogers probably wouldn't be the player he is if he'd have stayed at City. But it doesn't mean he isn't a player now where we think, bloody hell, we sold him for $1 million. Look how good he is. But he'd never be where he is if he'd have stayed at City.
No.
I think, the interesting thing, I was watching a couple of things last night about Anderson, and, it was some of them were United fans bemoaning he's going to go to City. And he is actually heading to have one of the best statistical seasons a player has ever had in the Premier League. They were comparing him to Rice and his actual stats compared to Rice, in terms of tackles and dribbles and getting possession back and successful passes and everything. And just saying, everyone's talking Rice for Player of the Year, but he's beating Rice at nearly everything in a much worse side.
I saw him do a clip ball over the top today, Rich, into Gibbs White, who did a cutback. And it was, I know people are concerned about the passing ability. I've never seen Rice do that.
Yeah. I mean, he's proving me wrong, because a year ago I thought Wharton was going to be miles better signing than Anderson, but his season this season's been incredible. I can see why Forest want 125 million, because he's fast having, an incredible season. And you look at it and you're actually now thinking, everyone going on about Rice. Elliot Anderson's probably having a better season, but for a far inferior club. So, hopefully, I think he can. I didn't think he was going to be at City's level.
Not going to be under the 25.
Team.
It will not be 125.
No one's going to pay that. No one's going to pay
Won't be that. By the way, the interest in Krupa is it the interest is there. They are not interested at that kind of money.
Yeah, 80 million? No.
They are not looking at 80 million quid.
Oh, you go and get
people have got to stop this 80 million, because this is, and like I said, we are going to get stuff on. I need to message him.
Well, you could go and get nearly any forward in Europe for 80 million. I mean, that's
but it's not that rich. We've spent $500 million in 12 months. I was speaking with Stemmer. I said, even he said we spent way more than we've ever done. In 18 months, spent $500 million. Unless you start selling some of these, because our squad's at 28, Rich, Bernardo and Stones are the only two. They're going on freeze. You can't keep buying someone at 80, 90 million.
I think we only sign anyone. Yeah,
because
I think we only
we're gonna fuck ourselves PSR wise.
I
know
think
people
they're
think we
assuming
know
that
PSR. We do.
goes. Yeah,
but unfortunately, me and Pat have said this on numerous channels now. To get people in, we need a good chunk going out.
Yeah.
So this is why I'm saying,
yeah.
if you want it, because in the last 2 days, Rich, Nico G said he wants to stay, which is fine. Reinders says he wants to stay. Everyone wants to stay all of a sudden. Well, then you've got no room at the inn to buy any bugger now.
Yeah, but we don't need. I mean, we only need to sign Krupi if Marmoush goes. So Marmoush stays, we don't need a backup for Haaland. We've got a backup for Haaland. You know, ultimately, if we choose to keep Savinho, there isn't a place for a winger. So all those Leao or anyone else things are not so. I mean, the one player or the two players we arguably need, whatever, is we need a midfielder to replace Bernardo and possibly a right back. Every other position, I think, we don't sign anyone unless.
But you can't get Mazza. Here's my thing: the Mazza one's a great example. Mazza's going to be what, 70 million quid to go where? He's a number 10.
No, I agree. I think.
I don't know where. Do you know my issue, Rich? Sorry to cut you about. I need to say this. The people with this Mazza and Diamanda, they've watched him about a game or two, or they watch YouTube clips and then gone, buy him.
Yeah, they watched a 10-minute highlight with Slovakian EDM music in the background. And
with due respect, Oman Mamouche did excellent in the Bundesliga and he's struggling in the Premier League or in a Manchester City team. So let's get this straight. Just because you're doing wonders in the Bundesliga does not always an automatic mean you're going to come and do wonders at Pep. So, and the difference is, we were spending 50 million quid to take that gamble. We're now at 80 million plus to make these gambles.
Yeah, that's why. But they're not going to take place unless we don't need
we sell people.
Well, yeah. So we only replace up front if Savinho and Marmoush go. If they don't, we don't need extra bodies. Unless they.
Have you just made
Elliot? We need. Anyway, I have to drop, so I better say
good night. 70 million Rico. Yeah, Rico. I've got some news on Rico.
Yeah,
I've got some news on Rico. The news on Rico. Just pull me WhatsApp. Braga are interested in him.
Oh,
Carlos Chance.
What, online?
Specifically asked for him.
No, they just
the former City coach.
Yeah, they just played Palace in the semifinals for the.
He has asked about Rico Lewis's availability.
Braga played Freiburg in the Europa.
So this is what I'm saying. So bring Echeverri home to do what? To wash boots? He's not good enough, man. See,
Martin, I said on Dapsa's channel earlier today for you, and I think with Echeverri, I think the smart thing would be to go back to Girona for another season, because whether it's his agent or something else, but I think whoever's responsible for that, mistake that he made going to Leverkusen and then coming into a Girona side in January that was, had found some form and was trying its best to get out of the drop zone, out of La Liga. There's not really going to be much room for him to play. So I think the smart thing would be is he probably comes in the preseason in Hong Kong, and then they loan him back out to Girona, and then after a season there, hopefully gets more game time. Then we can make a final assessment on whether he's good enough to get into the squad. Not this summer, but the following summer.
Well, you've got Naipan, you've got Echeverri. The problem is Girona don't even want to keep Echeverri. So this is the problem. It's all right saying that.
Well, regardless of Girona, he needs another year out there. Because of the mistakes that were made this season.
Girona don't want to keep him, Pat.
No, I'm not talking about Girona in general. I'm talking about La Liga in general, if anyone wants to take him. Because I think the mistakes that were made this season, for lack of a better term, but he punished himself basically by making these mistakes, and I think he needs to go. I think he needs to go back out on loan again for another season.
You can't do that, Connor, because you've already got 4 centre backs. If you sell Aki, you've got 4. You've got Gabardio, Gueye, Kushinov, Ruben Diaz.
What, you wouldn't have Vito Hayes as your 5th choice?
Well, what's he going to get doing that?
Oh, he'll get something.
I'd rather him go out on loan in the Premier League. I'd rather him go and play at a Brighton for a season, maybe. Or a Villa. Because someone said to me, well, he's not good enough for Villa. And this is my question. If they ain't good enough for Villa, and they ain't good enough for Brighton, why are they good enough for Manchester City?
No. I can understand. I can definitely see Brighton. I can definitely see like a Bournemouth. I just think that we talk about coaches have their trusted guys. At a place like Villa, Konza is going to start over him, just because Emery trusts Konza over.
Would you have Konza at City?
I'm not talking about here. You got to look at.
No, Ed. I know what you're saying, but you're not getting my point.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have.
Who are you rolling your eyes at, Sunshine?
I wouldn't. Konza, would he be 5th choice? I would take Konza as 5th choice. Would he be a starter? No.
Anywhere.
Yeah, but I'm saying as a starter, no. But I'm saying.
Right, so you're telling me then, right, so you take Konza as 5th choice in Villa, and you're telling me Victor Hayes ain't good enough, but he wants to be 5th choice at City and he's not good enough. So Villa's 1st choice is our 5th choice. Victor Hayes is come back to City and be 5th choice, and he's not good enough to get in the Villa team.
Maureen, what's not at like favoritism isn't real. Okay, we acting like he can go to Villa and Emery's going to sit Konza that's got them to the Champions League. Emery's not going to do that.
No, people have got to. The point I'm making is, if we're saying Victor Hayes is going to be Manchester City, if he's not Villa ready, he's not City ready.
No, I think he could play at Villa. But I'm saying
sorry, Manchester City is a bigger thing than Villa right now.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying send him to a team that he can go in and be the starter, right? Like a Brighton, like a Bournemouth, that are going to lose center backs, and he can just go in there and be the starter.
4 centre backs ain't enough for a whole season. We need 5. But it's how you get them. Being 5th choice is hard.
Yeah, it is hard.
How do you keep a player happy at 5th choice?
No. I just think there'll be injuries. We know there will be injuries at some point during the season. So,
but you can only play 2 centre backs, Pat.
No, I get that, but I mean, we're only 3-4 months removed from having Max Lane being called back from Watford because we were so short on centre backs.
Yeah, Max Lane's unhappy now because he feels like we've messed his career up a little bit here. This is what I mean. My argument is no one's thinking of the player in this. They're all thinking of the club. And the trouble is, it's like you as a footballer. You get loaned out and you're like, right, City want me back. Well, they come back to do what? He comes back for 4 games and then he doesn't even get on the bench anymore. So wouldn't he not just been better staying at Watford? Really? I know he's helped us for the 4 games, but you could have messed his career up you could have not messed it up, but you could have stagnated his career for a year or 2 years for 4 games.
But aren't we still taking this risk with Vito Hayes? You know, it's all well and good talking about him going to the Premier League, but he may not get in there either.
And he was.
It'd make more sense for him to go back to Girona because Girona. I think you see how much game time he's had at Girona. It would make more sense for him to go back there.
Do you know what it is? And this is what the trouble is, Pat, and we've talked about this. Everyone loves a new toy. A lot of the fans now are in new toy syndrome, but nobody's thinking of the size of the squad and who we potentially got to get out the door.
Yeah.
Because it's all right us saying Aki can go, Kovacic can go, Wanzi Vake don't want to go. We said this about John Stones, remember? The club told John Stones he could go last summer, and he said, don't want to. Wanzi Tijani Reinders says, don't want to go. I'm all right, Jack, on 240 grand a week.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Well, what do you do then?
That's the thing, though. Like, and this is only issue I have, right? You can't say you want to stay and then you want to knock on the manager's door. That's the only issue I have. You can't say you want to stay, you want to fight, you want to do all this stuff, but as soon as you're on the bench for a couple games, you want to knock on the door.
Yeah. What's better than being 5th choice? 6th choice. At least I'm not 6th choice. I like that one.
But, hey,
that's like saying at Trafford, well, you're winning. I've heard that with Trafford at the minute. He's winning cups, though. Well, I never heard any of this over Willie Caballero when he was winning cups. Or Pantilimon, or Bravo. They were winning cups, and they all still asked to leave. I think this is part of my debate at the minute. I'm like, it's like the first time we've ever had a number 2 goalie who's won trophies.
Yeah.
All our number 2 goalies have won trophies because we've always played our number 2s in the domestic trophies. I remember Willie Caballero winning as a shootout against Chelsea, if you remember.
I do too.
Claudio Bravo was in net when we slapped Arsenal 3-0 in the League Cup. I didn't even know what I was saying. Make him number 1. He's won as a trophy. I just think people are getting a bit excited on stuff that really has been going on for years. A little bit. Matt, did you say, Ash, can I ask you a question? Did you say Willie Caballero was the future? Did you say, if you said Willie Caballero was the future, then I'm with you, Ash. Because Willie Caballero won us cups. I don't think he wants to go to Forest. I know Fulham are interested in Recon. And also, I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm looking forward to the summer, and I'm not looking forward to the summer. Because I'm going to be straight with you right now. When I think about it, it makes me head spin. It hurts my head.
Yeah, a lot of dominoes.
Because there's in the last, I put a list out. I think I did it last night while I had some time with my dad. By the way, thank you for the lovely messages over my dad. It really does mean a lot. Really appreciate that. But we've been linked with Diamanda, Liao, Mazza, Morgan Gibbs-White, Anderson, Humour, Tanala, 2 or 3 goalies. We've been linked with a centre back. Who was that other young centre back? We got linked with Ed.
A centre back?
Yeah, you sent it in the group chat. Giovanni Reed, the kid from Coventry, Croupier.
Coventry, Van Ewig.
Yeah, we're not going to. Right, we've been linked. Someone put it out the other day. 42 players. We're not going to sign 42 players.
We're not Chelsea.
I get everyone's excited for the future and they're excited for the new toys, but we've just brought in 14 new toys. I think this is what people have forgotten. We bought 15 new toys in the last 12 to 18 months. I just think it's crazy. What I think it is, I think agents are doing the job right now. It's World Cup season and agents. Oh, Conseil Sab, been linked with him as well. And he was the other one. Oh, Enzo Fernandez. Got linked with him. So we're going to have some midfield with Enzo, Tanala, Hume Lloyd, Mazza, Bowden. We're going to have a fucking cracking midfield here. We're going to have a bench. I think Pat's camera's playing silly buggers. Is that your camera?
Yeah, I never mind. I can't even look at it now without it bloody shitting itself.
Oh, and then you've got Naipan, Victor Hayes, Juma Bar, and Echeverri all out on loan.
Brazilian wonder kid.
And we're going to spend 50 million on a Brazilian wonder kid.
No, it's 30 million now. It's 30 million.
Oh, has it got? He's gone down now. Slightly gone down. 30 now for a 16-year-old. You know what it tells me? Football's gone wild. It's gone absolute shit up wild.
Yeah.
It ain't good. It ain't good. And trouble is, people. By the way, Sam Lee said Maresca is definitely next. And for all the people who say Company, him and Soriano don't get on at all. I heard that. Yeah, you're talking about the latest. Let me talk. But I will say this as well. Yeah, the German 16-year-old. I want to big up the football club for the season ticket prices as well. So I hope someone at City's now listening to this because, again, I you know what? Screw it. I'm going to say it. I do things from the love of the club. I am a fan. We are a fan channel. I'm not just going to ignore the news and not say how I feel. The reason why I got so passionate over the North Stand is because I sit there and I've done for a long time. And also my two nephews from Main Road have been booted out and they've been treated badly. And I know, I'm sorry, City, if that upsets you, but I'm just got to be honest. So you want to send me the email, you want to send me the warning, go ahead and do it. I'm not going to stop this channel having freedom of speech when it comes to fans and tickets and everything else. So no, don't scare me getting warnings or anything else. If it comes, it comes. We'll see what happens. But at the end of the day, I backed that football club when we were in the shit in the 90s. When I was travelling to York and to Blackpool and to Wrexham and to Gillingham and God knows wherever and Port Vale. So come on, guys, play the game at set. Listen, I am one of your biggest backers. I am President Happy Clapper. But when I feel that the fans are being screwed, I'm going to say something. I'm sorry. I'm going to say something. You know, you got to take the rough with the smooth sometimes. But Caldoon has done a magnificent job for stepping in and the club for turning this around and freezing season tickets to now having the second cheapest season ticket in the Premier League. So big up to the club. See, when you do things right, I'll back. You do things wrong, I'm going to say something.
Did I read that the season ticket, the cheapest season ticket, is half the price of the cheapest Arsenal season ticket?
Yes, 425 quid.
More than half, because I think Arsenal's cheapest is about 950.
Mm-hmm.
That's
because yes, I know people from the club watch this. I was the one who's backed Savio. I'm the one who's backed Kyle Walker when he was getting the shit. I'm the one who's backed Phil Foden when everyone's giving him shit. I was backing Akanji. I was backing everyone. Come on, guys.
See, no mention of Nico G. There you go.
I'll back Nico G. I'll back every single...
No, we don't.
I backed Calvin Phillips long before everyone else pissed off.
And how's that working out for you?
Exactly. And then I get the nerve of the club maybe sending me an email to have a pop at me. Do me a favour.
Don't forget to like and subscribe on your way out, people.
Yeah.
You get the raw fans' opinions on this channel, guys.
Do you know what Emperor? Do I still back him? I think he's a very good player. I just think City was the wrong move. I do think he's a good player because I saw it at Leeds. To tie down a CDM role for Bielsa ball means you're
purple
a good player.
Purple patch.
No, for a year. No, pick a purple patch.
Martin, people can have one good season and never reach those heights ever again. He had one good season. We splashed the cash on a
one good tournament, Ed. One good tournament, Ed. What we got coming up? World Cup. That can only mean one thing: clubs are going to be out there bloody paying big money for players because they had a good World Cup.
Exactly.
And then they come in, and then 6 months later, all their fan base is going to say, "We regret signing that player."
Spot on.
Happens
He was a
too
good
often
player.
now.
Spot on. I'm with you. The lights were too bright. I'm the one who defended Grealish when everyone was calling him an English bum. But yeah, that is true. The players loved Maresca when he was there.
Yeah, that's why I'm not worried about him with respect. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, he was playing for England. He won English Player of the Year. But according to Path, and I will name you Path because you called me an old unk and you've changed your profile picture to me as an old man. So I will say this, you're going to get what you sow now, mate. You said England players are shit and we've never won anything. Well, tell me which country you support, Sunshine. And let's have a chat. Unless it's Germany or Brazil. I want to see your World Cup medals, your Euro medals.
Well, Australia's won as many trophies as you lot have, so.
The PFP. What PFP?
Is he talking about the one as you was an old man?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's something like that. Oh, listen, I don't mind it. Listen, I don't think Pav's done it out of nastiness, but I got called an unk, and I don't embrace the younger
MRW.
Oh, man.
MRW.
Yeah. Let's hope City will put in a good performance at least. Yeah. Pat, and as you did, and I don't think there's anything else, but I will say on Monday, we're going to do the watch along. Me and Tone. Must win game now. City travel to the Hill Dickinson Stadium. We're going to kick off at 7:30, 7:15 to 7:30 on Monday night. We know you have a choice on the watch along front, and if you come and join us at the Mancunian Way, we thank you for choosing us.
Yeah, I'll probably be in the comments. Yeah.
So it'll be me and Tone. We might get Spartacus on, we'll see, and we'll have a good old natter. And then we'll do some post-match on Monday as well. Tomorrow, I'm on Judge Mo, 5 p.m. I'm going to go at it with Neil. And then I'm on South Stand at 9 p.m.
Tomorrow?
Yes. Yes, Wembley tickets are on sale tomorrow morning. They start, 4 pit starts, basically started...
60 quid, wasn't it? 50 or 60 quid?
Yeah, they're all from tomorrow, 10 a.m., 1 p.m., 4 p.m., 10 a.m., 1 p.m. If you are on the cup scheme. So there you go. So yeah, I'm not going to Wembley. I'm away for the weekend. Or I might be going to Wembley. I'll let you know. I am trying to.
Are you doing another one of those where you're going to try and fly into London on the day of the final?
I'm trying to. No, I'm going abroad. I'm not going abroad. We're just going away for the weekend.
Oh, when's Cyprus then?
July.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, July the 8th. I'm in Cyprus. But this is just a weekend away. But I am trying to switch.
Maneuver.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm trying to maneuver dates.
Any chances of coming to Hong Kong in August?
No chance. Not with next year. No, because I'm going to get next year in Anna.
Yeah.
Because you know they're going to be in America. It's your lot that are missing. When are they ever going back to Australia?
I've got to have a chat with Tanya about this because she does know quite a lot of like sports event organizations over here in Australia, and they have talked about it in the past. I wonder if maybe we might be able to start talking to some of them for 2027.
No, we're going to America.
Because I think 2027 would be a good year for it. Because I think
no, we're going to America. I will take you off right now. We're going to America in 2027.
What makes you say that?
Because
you're going.
Yeah,
because you're going.
And I pre-planned it that way. I'm going to. Why don't you come to America?
In anticipation. I mean, I can. I'm just thinking 2027. Do you know what I really? Do you know why I'm not going to commit to anything yet? Well, I'm not going to commit to anything yet because if the rumors are true, Oasis are meant to be touring Europe that time.
Well, yeah, we haven't been to Australia for a while. I don't know. I think Australia just.
I personally think that if we get
Pellegrino.
Yeah, it was Pellegrini 2015. 2015. It was Pellegrini's last season.
When the schedule comes out, we need to talk about because I'm going to try to come over next season. So we need to.
Ed, what time of year are you planning on coming over? Because I'll be over in November, December.
See, Pat, I was thinking about it. Right, we gotta look at this weather. We gotta look at this weather thing, man.
You need to come over at that time of year, mate. The Christmas.
No, are you having a bit of a birthday shindig for me?
What? Oh yeah, that's right. Your birthday's around the same time as mine because mine's on the 2nd of December.
December the 10th.
Yeah, we gotta talk about this.
Yeah, I'll be on the last week of my time away. So
come on.
Do you know what I'm hoping for though, Martin? The last couple of years I've planned like going away at that time of year, and every time I've gone over, it's been city fixtures that I've already been to. I want it to be new ones, like new away days I haven't gone to yet. It's just rinse and repeat. It's the same ones.
Because I know I'll probably be. There's a big concert I'm going to December probably 11th over here, so it might be after that, just because I've already got some plans for that.
Piss off, you. Piss off, and don't send me any shit in WhatsApp, you. He's going to send me the Travel Channel logo on WhatsApp, Andrew, in a minute.
Yeah. I want to watch at least 2 games, like try to get like a cup game in a Premier League.
Like and subscribe, everyone.
Champions League and a Premier League game.
Well, this is a very good question, this. And I hope you do, Ed, because it'd be a pleasure to get you over, mate.
Mm.
You know, especially for my birthday time. What they do? That's a good question. Like and subscribe, Pat's back. What are they doing with the 32,000 tickets that have not been allocated to City and Chelsea? Corporate and to the football families, they call it.
Yeah. Same thing in this. What was Istanbul? Was it like 77,000 capacity and both fan bases got 25 each?
Yeah. Crazy. Let's just see if there's anything come out on any news since... Have you noticed we get a bit more chilled when Rich and Ozzy go?
We do.
Apparently, according to rumours here, Matt Gay is confident or favourite to become the next Manchester City captain. Wow.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. All this stuff I'm hearing, man, it sounds like Roger is not staying. Because I would think Roger would be the next captain if he stays.
But by the way, I've got one last question before we go, and I need to answer this. Has anyone seen Mark Goldbridge has changed his tune since he signed that deal with Gary Neville?
For sure. Of course.
Well, nothing was going to change because he's gone very pro Manchester City.
Of course.
I don't know about Rodri. I'm going to be honest with you. The news that I got months ago is still the same news I'm getting now. Rodri's time is coming to an end. That is all I'm getting told. That is all I'm... So, I don't know.
Yeah, even with, like, if you saw the interview he was doing with Nico, it kind of was like, in some aspects, it was kind of like the passing of the torch in some ways, right? It was like, you know what I'm saying, how they set it up? It was like one Spaniard midfield DM learning from the older one, and it's like, I just had that feeling when I was watching it for some reason. It's like...
Yeah, apparently so. Listen, I don't want Rodri to go. I don't listen. I want Rodri to stay. I just feel we're the 30th of April and it's still not decided. Rodri and Foden are the two that are really worrying me. They worry me. I don't know. We'll have to see, won't we? We're losing many players, not good at all. I don't know if we are losing players because apparently I said, Ash, everyone wants to bloody stay now. I don't know. It's just crazy. Thought someone's playing Coventry next season. I think it'll be a cracking game.
But I'm sure that'll be an away day you'll definitely want to try and get a ticket for.
Yes. Do you know how weird it is? I've passed the Rioch Arena so many times on the way to Etihad's house. Because anyone doesn't know that the Rioch Arena or the Rico Arena is literally off the side that you can see it from the side of the motorway.
Yeah, I've seen it.
You're going up the M1. You know, just coming down the M1 into London.
Yeah.
That's Watford Gap and all that. You come through Coventry and it's looks a great stadium.
I remember
and
seeing
it's an easy run.
I remember seeing it when I drove with a mate of mine from London to Manchester for the it was the formidable. It was after the cup final. We drove up for the formidable parade.
Yeah. Also, just very, very quickly, I just want to make this. I'm just trying to see if I can find it. Where is it gone? I'm just trying to get if I can find it. Where is it gone? As you know, Guardiola's been nominated for the Premier League Manager of the Month, along with Nuno Espirito Santo, Daniel Farke, Fabian Huzela, Iriola, Vita Piera, and Arne Slot. Cherki and O'Reilly been nominated for the Premier League Player of the Month Awards. Other nominees: Gerard Bowen, Morgan Gibbs-White, Pascal Grosjean, Konstantinos Pavaropanis, Noah Okafor, and Alex Scott. And then, but there was some, I wanted to give the City Women's News. What's her name now? I had it down on a piece of paper. Where's it gone? I just had it. Just bloody had it. Where's it gone? Manchester City's Laura Coombs has announced that she will retire at football at the end of the season. 35-year-old is going to bow out with a Women's Super League title as a side. Hopes to bow out, should I say. Side of 6 points clear, despite the loss against Brighton recently. She's got 7 caps for England. Began her career at Arsenal in 2007. She received a surprise call up for the England squad after an 8-year absence in 2023. Said the way Manchester City are putting our women's team together, it should really go on and be successful in the long term. Very glad I got to play a part in it, and I'm very excited to watch in the future. But yes, we do wish her all the best. She scored 27 goals in 147 appearances. So yeah, we wish her all the best on Laura Coombs and her retirement and wherever she goes. Yes, I know they've got games in hand. Yes, I know. So yeah, and don't forget as well, the Manchester derby for the FA Youth Cup final, which is very weird. You can get to that one. We play Manchester United. The date is to be confirmed, but we do play United. It's going to be at the City Stadium or the Joey Stadium. Date to be confirmed. So I'm going to try and get down to that one as well. The women, just to give you an idea, I've got 2 games. We've got 2 games left. Liverpool at home, West Ham away, and they've got Chelsea in the Women's Cup final as well. So yeah, women. The women, the youngsters, and the men's could end this season full of trophies. We may end up doing a 5-bus parade by the end. That'd be nice. That'd be very nice. AI has changed. Al has changed you, or AI?
AI. I think he means AI.
But why is AI changed, man? I've lost some more weight. I'm trying to lose some weight.
That's how AI's changed you.
But look how big I was there. And look at me now.
Yo, Martin looks like he's about to
Like
go
I
be
said.
a bouncer somewhere, man.
You know, chippy chips.
Yeah.
They have to be them chips. I don't get
it. Yeah, you wanker, Andrew.
No, it'd be. I mean, this is the thing. Like we were having such a great season stuff, but it's like I think also so just how like the club operates, that the team can be focused with all this kind of like uncertainty behind the scenes with multiple players, with the manager. You know, that's why you got to enjoy what you have, man, and live in the moment.
Yeah. By the way, we've not hit 100 likes. That's a bit poor, that, guys. There's 130 of you on. There's over 100 on X. We're 4 away from 100 likes.
Come on, guys.
19 away from 115. Come on, guys. We should be hitting 115. Can I just say a big thank you to somebody who has donated on Buy Us a Coffee. I have had the notification. I will thank them privately. They are in the chat. I won't say who they are, but they have sent a nice donation to the channel on buying us a coffee. Thank you so much. I want to say a massive thank you to Ed and to Pat, who've gone the whole show. Thank you, gentlemen.
No problem, man. I always appreciate the chat, always interacting with the chat. It's been a great stream. And it's hard to believe, guys, that we only were, 5-6 games away before the end of the season. So it's been a great ride.
Final thoughts, Patrick?
All to play for. Just do what we need to do to get over the line for these last few games, and we'll be domestic treble winners.
Fight and win! Fight and win!
I didn't mean to do it twice.
Anyway,
did you do that because to announce the Hong Kong preseason? You rude prick!
Oh,
you yeah.
Wow,
that's terrible.
Anyway,
that's terrible, Martin. That's terrible.
Up towards it, Rich, Governor, and Luke. Not in my lifetime. Go and show them a lot of love. Also, go and show Pulpy a lot of love. Starting a brand new channel. Go and show him a lot of love. Hit that subscribe. He does the early mornings breakfast with Pulpy. Also to Luke as well. Luke, City TV is no more. It is no more. He has now become the Real Battle, which is an amazing idea. There's a 9-minute video up on from earlier on. He really has done a magnificent job here, and I just want to absolutely thank him for that. I'm just going to post it in here. The Real Battle. And it is all about men's mental health, which I'm going to be straight with you. I've struggled with in the last few weeks. I don't mind sharing this. Said I was going to be open tonight. My father is very bad at the minute. Very bad. Worse than he's ever been. So the next few weeks, I could be here, there, and everywhere. So I'm not in a great headspace at the minute. So if I've been angry or a touch a bit of a knob in the last few weeks, I apologize. That wasn't my intention. People don't realize. I know everyone's got problems, but for me to have a mother and a father who both have Alzheimer's at different stages, and to have a sister with Down syndrome as well, all in one house, I have my hands full. Plus, I've got to manage a partner and my own children here. Yeah.
It's a handful.
Life gets messy. And I don't sleep. So I have spoke to Luke. I have asked about going on there because I think talking really helps. So I think Luke's done a brilliant idea because men's mental health is a real thing and you shouldn't be ashamed to put your emotions out as a man. I know there's this, I'm a man, I'm a macho guy, and it's wrong. You know, real men cry. Real men put their heart on their sleeves. And don't let anyone ever say to you that men are hard and they're big and they're this, that, and the other. No. Real men show emotions. That's what real men do. Yeah. Bottling up is no good because all you're doing is we're bottling it up. It's like a rocket. You're just pounding the pressure till it just goes. And I knew I was going that way a few weeks back, and that's why I took a step back this week more than ever. You notice we haven't done a lot of shows. It's not that I'm being thing. I'm just not in a good place right now. So tomorrow weekend, we're not going to do anything. We'll be back Monday. Next week, we'll go full guns. Big up, Andrew. Thank you so much for that, mate. I appreciate that. And if you have got a membership, thank you so much. Also, if you've got a charity, if you've got a sponsor, anything, email us. If it's for next season, email us. mancunionway894@gmail.com.
Martin.
Thanks, Tarzy.
Martin, if you or Luke want me ever just to come on, because I know, I mean, I can disclose this. I do work in that space. So if ever you or Luke want to have me on there just to get from the other side or, perspective or just,
yeah.
You guys can always reach out to me. I'll make time for that for sure.
No, I know that. And I appreciate David and Magnus and Connor and everyone in there. And I know our very own Alec Johnson is dealing with it right now with his mother. And it's crazy. It's crazy to see it. So big up to Blue Hater, Steve, Governor, everyone in there. Styles, by the way, this is for a worldwide audience who are in Australia called Lifeline.
And Beyond Blue as well. Beyond Blue is a good one as well.
And Dash as well, the Samaritan link. Yeah, there's loads. And also your GP. Just go and speak to your GP and they'll put you in the right direction. They'll probably send you to Mind. But, the CB, whatever it is, CBT, what is it, cognitive. The cognitive one, the one where there's different forms of counselling as well. Yeah, no, I will do AA. And I'm just going to keep myself busy tomorrow and then I'll have the weekend. And then Monday we'll be back with a bang. So don't forget on Monday, like I said, we'll be back with the watch along. Me and Tone, and we'll see who else can join us. But don't forget, around about 7:15, we thank you. You do have a choice. And we thank you for choosing the Mancunian way. And Pep, you can see he's licking his lips at that Premier League trophy. Can he get his hands on it? We'll find out on Monday. Cognitive behavioural therapy, that's it. Thank you, CBT. Thought it was. Thank you very much. Smash those likes on your way out. Big up to Andrew and everyone in the chat for doing it. We're all legends. We'll see you. I'll see you probably on South Stand tomorrow or Judge Mo. Space, I'll set it up for 12:15. So come and have a chat with us on there. Nice and chilled one. And as always, up the Blues.
See you, everyone.